Get it going. Here we go. With more line work. Let's begin this afternoon. Just the right size. Anyways, hello everybody. If you are here, please say so. Otherwise, I'll just keep on drawing. So we are working on some new comics. We're trying to make progress on this very long one. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. I am working on the next Eldritchrune comic. It's taken a while because it's the longest one yet. Hope your Sunday is going well. If there's crickets in the background, that's just the background crickets. Thank you very much. I'm past the hard stuff, now I'm at the fun stuff. Like, every artist has their favorite part of the process, and I actually like doing cleanup. That's one of my favorite parts, because I just like, I don't have to think too much. I can just kind of like zone out and get into the groove of it, and I like that. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Crickets are going, it's all cold and dreary out. Might rain later today. It's been raining a lot lately, but I guess it's supposed to do that because it's November in Canada. That should be rainy. But yes, I hope you're doing well. I'm hanging in there alright. Busy, busy. Even if it is a holiday weekend, so don't have to do work tomorrow. Instead, I'll probably just work on all this stuff. Or Anthrofractal, because I need to finish the next part of that too. Hope it's going well with you. Hope the computer cooperates today. It's been decent enough, but I've got to knock on wood for that. Long form fan stuff. Ooh, that's fun. I love me doing that. If I could just quit my job and do that all the time, that's what I would do. But I gotta make monies. And I like my job, so I can't complain. My job is cool. But it is a job. I suppose there's no escaping from that. But yes, it is always fun to get to work on fan stuff. Especially like big projects. It's very fun. Oh, and there go first ads, I think. Pre-rolls are getting all weird now. What kind of long-form fan stuff is it? Is it like a fan fiction, or a comic, or video, or music, cosplay? There's all kinds of things out there. Yeah, that's true. Fics are all thinking, all the time. Nothing but thinking. Okay, it's fic. Nice. I'm trying to read a bit more Undertale fan fiction now, because I'm like, you know what, I've gone through so much of this fandom, like, not up to date with like what a lot of people are otherwise doing, because I'm used to just kind of doing my own thing. So I'm trying to remedy that. So, problem is, it's mostly a matter of like me setting aside time for it. I'm trying to like read stuff on dinner or food breaks, because that's the only time I can really catch up with that. But good luck with the fic. Definitely the thinky part is the hard part, at least for me. Nice. Oh yeah, NaNoWriMo. Good excuse for it. Well, I kind of wish that like NaNoWriMo wouldn't just... Maybe I need to just unsubscribe from this stuff. Because I did NaNoWriMo like years and years ago, basically as a means to like get myself to get a lot of the Skybox script down. So I'm like, I'm going to use Nano as an excuse to write a whole bunch of Skybox script, and then from that I'll be able to start making the comic. And I did, and that was fine, but since then they've sent me email non-stop. I'm like, I don't need to do nano anymore. I'm sorry. I mostly do art now. I don't think it's possible to really translate a word count into pictures. I guess you could try, but it's very subjective. Yeah, nano is a good excuse for that. I have some friends that do that a lot, almost every year. Not every year. It's nice to have that extra motivation. Emails are very in your face, and there are a lot of them. It's like, please, I'm just trying to write my thing. Please. I guess an organization like that, they probably gotta make their money some way. I don't know how, but probably do. Yeah, I haven't done monthly challenge stuff in a while. Haven't done nano since that one time, and I haven't done anything like a Inktober or any of the other Tobers that come around, or the Bimbers, because I'm sorry, I'm already in the middle of like always a long-term project. I can't start another one. I probably have already started another long-term project on another month. Turns out I don't actually need help doing that. I just do it. Sometimes to my own detriment, but oh well. Yeah. Great going, you're planning! Which, again, planning's hard. Very important, very hard. The thinky stuff. It's always the hardest part when I'm for my job too. I like when I'm clean because I'm like, okay, I can just apply these notes and clean up, and when it's thumbnail time, the rough time, it's like, okay, I can't do that. I have to think about what I'm gonna draw here. And the show I'm on now has a very, very long planning period and a very short cleanup period. They don't really want much in the way of cleans. They want the roughs very set out. Oh, thank you. That's so cool to hear. I'm glad they were an inspiration. So yeah, go for it. Whatever it takes to get you to make your thing. Draw all these in separate layers so I can separate them out later. But yeah, that always makes me happy to hear. Well, so he's trying to be persuasive. Definitely I'd say fix our... I don't want to say fan fiction is easier than drawing a comic, because all art is difficult. But writing words is just less time consuming per, like, chapter than drawing it all out. Oh, thank you for following, too. Thank you. I super appreciate that. Yeah, I try and do at least one art stream a week, but sometimes life gets in the way of it. And otherwise, I stream video games on Friday nights. Usually trying to play something that I haven't played before. But sometimes it's something I have played before. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. I don't know what it is, but I feel like whenever I type stuff nowadays, I'm making more mistakes typing. Like, I'll just make random spelling errors, typos all the time. It's a little frustrating. I'm not sure what's causing it. What is going on with my brain? I should be able to type this. I know what these words are. just type the wrong thing. And like one of the ways that, like, if I'm dreaming, one of the ways I can always tell that I'm dreaming is if I try and read or write or type something, I like can't do it. I like physically cannot do it in the dream. It's very weird. I'll just like make constant spelling errors, or it just, I can't like physically manage to move it across the paper. I'm trying to like hit the keys and it doesn't work. Yeah, maybe the can't read clocks things is true too. I can't remember the last time I had to look at a clock in a dream. But I can tell that I'm like, okay, this has to be a dream because, like, yeah, I literally find myself physically incapable of reading, writing, or typing. It's very weird. Probably drawing, too. It seems to come out when I'm, like, trying to type or something. Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it. Can't read stuff. It's like I'm seeing words on a page, and they should be forming sentences, but like they'll just start to not make sense. They become like this jumbled mess. And I feel like I always have to like muscle through it. I'm like, if I just try hard enough, I should be able to read this. And then I'm like, no, it's not working. The words don't make sense. They're a mess. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Sneezies. I mean, it's even harder if you're trying to write stuff that's not your native language. Good grief. That's even harder. We had a foreign exchange student once when I was a kid. And he always was, you know, very smart guy, but he was always just like in his little guest room we had him in. And he would take like 3 or 4 hours to do his homework because he was doing like this complicated math homework. And he had to translate it all from English to German first and then do it. I'm like, good grief. There's just so much stuff. He's a neat guy, though. I think we've kept in touch with him. After he went back to Germany. And, I don't know, probably into engineering or something. He was very smart. Oh no! Can't play the piano in a dream either. Oh yeah, like he was studying English too, obviously. But it was like, you know, a foreign exchange student, so that was kind of part of it. Was going overseas to learn English and also do your other schoolwork. That's the kind of thing that, like, I guess kind of a parental tradition, because at least my mom was also a foreign exchange student, also to Germany, where when she was young, she went there to study with the family and all that stuff. I'm not sure. I wonder if they must still do that kind of program, right? I'm not sure which programs run it. But it's literally just like, you, a like high school or college student, are just sent to live with a family in another country. And you just like go to school there and do your work there and live in another country with some random family for like a year. Aww. Well, English is a stupid language, so I think that's fine to be like, okay, you didn't get it, whatever. English speakers don't really get it either. We made up all the rules and we don't even follow them. At least German has understandable rules. Well, mostly understandable. Hello, thank you for coming. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's got a little bit of, a little Germanic in there, a little bit of Romance language, and a little bit of, I don't know, probably Latin or something. Just do all of this stuff. And then at this point, like, Old English is an entirely different language from modern English. It's always changing. I am doing alright. Hanging in there. Cleaned the house yesterday, so that was nice. Yeah, okay, Latin, French, Old English, and Old English is, yeah, probably a bit more Germanic. That makes sense. Okay, is that it for this page? I think so. Chris scoffs. Good job at getting started. It's a doozy. Alright, I need 302. Where is it? There it is. Trying to get through the lines today. And if we do that, we'll also get through, start on the bases. Yeah, this is largely a conversation between, Chris and Ralsei. It's just a long scene. Nothing too spooky happens, although a bit of spookiness. Nice, nice. It's always fun when you get to a part that you're actually excited to write. You're like, yes, I've had this in my head forever, and now I actually got to the part where I can write it. I feel like every project has had that kind of bit where it's like, well, I need to do the whole project, but I actually want to get to just this one part. When do I get to the fireworks factory? I feel like Chris should not have these clothes at this time period, but oh well. They do anyway. I friended like 50 people from the Pokemon Go event yesterday because I was out and about trying to do the raids. So now I've got a big giant influx of people that are like, you got a gift, you got a gift. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I could do it beforehand, but then it's harder to do stuff in between. Plus, sometimes you realize, like, after you've done, like, the scene you want to do, you end up having to change it because then you go and get to the other stuff and you're like, well, shoot, the other stuff that happened here would affect this scene here, so now you have to do rewrites to it. That's kind of what happened with, like, I wrote some scenes in Dogs of Future Past out of order, and, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm gonna have to go back and change this once I get to that actual part. It was a little different from how I wrote it. Even now, I could probably still change some things. But and also sometimes it's like a thing of like you don't even know what needs to be changed until like you've actually written it once. And it's definitely true with storyboard stuff too, where like you're like, okay, I've planned out all my shots, I'm gonna draw them out, and you don't even realize like that there might be a problem with them until after you've already done the work. You might not even realize there's a problem until the director's like, well, this, and this, and you're like, crap, I didn't even think of that. It's impossible to think of all of it. It also has nebulously smoky bottom. I'm trying to remember what time did I start. I think it was like 1:30, right? I hope so. I'm trying to figure out when I'll have to do my break. It's like, no breaks ever. We chirp at you. Yeah, I've seen Vampire Hunter D. I used to watch a lot of anime with my roommates in college. I had a roommate that just had tons and tons and tons of old anime. So we just became like an anime household, and oh shoot, I was on the wrong layer. Get over here. Yeah, I would describe what the heck? Come on, please. I just want you to go back over here. I should be able to just copy paste this right where it was. There. Wrong layer! Remove the layer, Kronk. Wrong layer! He makes sing the wrong layer song for me. But yeah, Vampire Hunter D is kind of like a gothic setting. Which can be kind of medieval. It's a very good post. It's kind of funny that Emperor's New Groove ended up as beloved as it did, considering the absolute production hell it went through. It's pretty much an entirely different movie that kind of fell apart, and they had to change a bunch of direction completely at the last minute. At the same time, I kind of want to see the movie they were planning originally, too. Same way I kind of want to see both Bolt and American Dog. Very, very different movies. I don't know, there's something about it. Like the struggles of making this kind of art, and you become fascinated with it. Yeah, although for me, I think the development hell was probably with Frozen 2. It sounds like they were trying to make Frozen 2 without really knowing what they wanted to do with it. They were just kind of laying down the train tracks as they went, which is really not what you want to be doing in animation production at all. That tends to be a extremely stressful thing for the animators at best. Yeah, Frozen 2 was worse, and I think from what I understand on the production is because, well, we have to make Frozen 2 because, you know, Frozen was such a big hit. And like, what do we want to do with it? And they couldn't really figure out what they wanted to do with it. So you've got a lot of different kind of like things going on at once. Like, but they did the whole, you know, the big song in Frozen 2 where Elsa's like, oh, this mysterious voice is calling me. Like, I'm not sure they knew what that voice was when they did that song. I've only seen Frozen 2 once, though, so what do I know? Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be kind of similar to the original Snow Queen, what it was based on, where the Snow Queen is the villain. She has this cool living ermine thing. At least we got water physics! Ah! In which case, we also worked the tech team too hard. And even then, oftentimes you can't really, like, rely on that all the time. I remember watching this, you know, making a video about Ratatouille, and they were talking about this moment where, you know, in the background, towards the beginning, Linguini is trying to help around the restaurant, and then he accidentally knocks over the big pot of soup that Remy's gonna have to fix. And there's a shot where, like, he knocks it with a broom and it just falls over and all the soup falls on the floor. And they're talking about how, like, in order to achieve the look we wanted for just this pot of soup falling onto the floor, they had to completely change what they were doing with the liquid simulation, because the liquid simulation didn't look right at that speed. They had to, like, make it go faster than it actually would in a proper simulation, because the proper simulation would not have that same comedic impact of him knocking over a pot of soup that they wanted. So, like, even the simulations aren't necessarily a good metric, because you might have to change them just for the sake of dramatic or comedic timing. Oh, Frozen in Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh. It was... I feel like that one was one where Elsa was supposed to be the bad guy. The entire part where, like, you know, we have this giant ice palace maze that you have to go through. And, like, what makes sense is, like, Elsa's trying to stop them. And so she makes this big ice palace maze for them to go through. But in the game, they have Larxene do that instead. And it's like, but she has lightning powers. How did she use her lightning powers to make this giant ice maze? It would make way more sense if Elsa was the antagonist and she made a giant ice maze to go through. Why did she do that? And it was very clear that Disney's like, you can't have this character as the bad guy in your video game. Can't do that. So, ugh. Very awkward. Them still singing Let It Go while Goofy and all of them were just kind of in the background. Because, like, we have to have Let It Go in there. That's our big song. I knew they were going to put Frozen in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was like, okay, here we go. Strange to hear Anna, she sings over herself. Yeah, I feel like at this point, Nomura needs to kind of let go of the Kingdom Hearts series and pass it on to somebody else. Cause I get the feeling that he doesn't really want to do it anymore. He wants to do something else, especially with basically the Final Fantasy fan fiction in Kingdom Hearts 3 that, like, is in Toy Story. It's like, oh, by the way, we just spent this time in, like, this totally Squeenix-looking, you know, parody thing. But it's clear that Nomura wants the parody to be what he's actually doing, because that's, like, his abandoned Final Fantasy. Yeah, he doesn't want to do Kingdom Hearts anymore. He wants to do Verum Rex. So I'm like, you know what? Just let him do Verum Rex. That's clearly what he wants to be doing. And let somebody else do Kingdom Hearts, please. I don't know, 3 kind of broke my heart, and I haven't gone back to the series since, so I haven't played Memory of Melody, and I haven't played Dark Road. And I got, like, kind of a funky thing on my Tumblr. Don't let him do whatever the fuck, because I don't know if he's necessarily always good at kind of planning out what he wants to do. Apparently that was part of the problem with 15 or 13 Versus, was they couldn't get out of pre-production because he was constantly changing his mind. Yeah, Tweedledee is good. But, I don't think he wants to do Kingdom Hearts anymore. I don't think he's got his heart in it. I think he wants to do something like Verum Rex. And so, I feel like everybody would be better off if that's what he was doing. Although I don't know if Squeenix wants him to do that. I'm pretty sure they just want to do more Kingdom Hearts. But, like, some post I made a while ago on Tumblr about Kingdom Hearts fandom suddenly was getting shared around a bunch again. I was like, oh, what happened? I haven't been keeping up with it. And apparently some news on a mobile game came out, and people were freaking out, and I got a Kingdom Hearts Heritage post mentioned, and I was like, okay, I like this. I like this more than I like the Kingdom Hearts news. Heritage post, yay. Yeah, I feel like he probably is too limited with Kingdom Hearts now. And also, I don't think he cares much about the characters anymore. I don't know, I just feel like Riku's had his character arc. He's resolved a lot of his issues, so that's done. He seems to have kind of this animosity towards Sora, the other main character. Good grief with Kairi as well. It just doesn't, and like, I don't know, all the stuff I've seen so far, I'm like, where's the Disney characters? I wanted Final Fantasy characters hanging out with the Disney characters. There's so much lore. There's so much. Like, that was part of the awkward stuff with, did I put SP on the wrong layer here? Hope not. Okay, no, that's the correct one. Phew. A little worried. That money! I know. I mean, Homestuck was going on forever and ever. Ugh. I don't think they're doing any more Homestuck, are they? Like, they tried to do Homestuck 2 and that didn't quite work out. I don't think it's still going, is it? I think its day might have gone too long. No one should be Homestuck. Wait, they are still doing it? I thought that they were done with Homestuck 2. If you're interested in Kingdom Hearts, honestly, the best place I would say to start, just 1 or 2. Just Kingdom Hearts 1, great place to start, because, you know, you don't have to go in, like, chronological order for the games or anything. Just start with 1 and, like, you know, get to know the main characters and all that kind of stuff that way. Get to know the gameplay and all that. If you are planning on playing, like, most of the games, then you should get, like, the collections, like 1.5, 2.5, or all the other stuff that has, like, 3 games bundled together, or all the games bundled together, because you might as well, like, you know, save money that way, but that's just if you're planning on playing everything anyway. But if you just want to, like, get into the series, yeah, just start with 1 or 2. Probably 1, just because, again, less lore stuff to worry about, you're just having fun with the characters and the game itself. And the game is very fun to play. Like, I think one of Kingdom Hearts' best qualities is the animation, like battle animation, character animation. I feel like even from the start, that was always very strong. I'm definitely like post-scratch Undertale. Oh, that is like looking into the abyss. Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty reluctant to, like, I feel like I did this more with Paper Trail, but I've been a lot more reluctant to tie Undertale to Deltarune too closely. Like, I don't even think they have the same Gaster. I think Gaster is different between the two games right now. I think they obviously have relationships to each other, but I don't think they're the same person. Yeah. But yeah, Homestuck is a, I don't know how do you explain Homestuck? I never quite finished Homestuck. Like, I got to Act 6, I think, and I kind of got overwhelmed and stopped because it's just so long. I've ended up just listening to podcasts of other people talk about Homestuck, and that's how I know what happens in Homestuck, because I watched or listened to some Homestuck podcasts that are like, this is what happens in it. And I was like, okay, thank you for explaining that to me. Now I know. Yeah, honestly, like, some people like, you know, oh, you have to start at Act 4, that's where it gets good. I kind of liked Acts 1 and 2 and 3 before we even got to, like, 5. I have to grind Homestuck. If nothing else, like, even though I haven't really read it, I still listen to the soundtrack because the music's really good. It's good work music. Obviously, because you got some, you know, some Toby Fox in there, but he's not the only composer, and I like all the music in it. It's all pretty good. Okay, after I finish this page, I think I'll take my stretch break. Yep, always so many comics to get caught up on. Keep up with, you know, unexpected guests and doing that. Yeah, no, like, Homestuck music, unironically good. Brony music, unironically good. Stuff that you wouldn't think would be good. It's like, wait a minute, this is actually, like, really good. Yep, Black is a fan favorite. Well, I'm really partial to, like, I like Suburban Jungle, that's another good one. And, what was that? That's like Umber Ultimatum, that's another good one I like. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. It does make me wish that I could compose music, but I can't even read music anymore. I used to be able to do that when I was in, I don't know, middle school when I played an instrument. But now I forgot. It's all gone. Oh, Over the Void's coming back? Oh, good for that. That was on a very long hiatus. The creator was... Oh, wait, no, Endertail was also on a long hiatus. People kept bugging the creator about that. Which is annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reread all of that too. Okay, well, that page is done. I'm gonna stretch. Do my stretch break. Here we go. Oh, ukulele is a fun instrument, though. I guess maybe I should try playing an instrument again. I used to play the trumpet when I was in, like, middle school. At first I told my mom, I want to play the tuba. And she's like, no, you can't play the tuba. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, you're too small for the tuba. How about you get a trumpet instead? And I whined about it, but this was the correct call because, one, I walked to school, so why would I be carrying the tuba to school every day? Like, that would have been a stupid plan. I already hated carrying the trumpet every day, or every other day. And two, I don't think I would have had enough air in my lungs to fill a tuba. I have no clue why I wanted to play the tuba. Like, all the other girls were like, I'm playing the clarinet. I'm playing the flute. I'm like, no, I want to play the tuba. And I was too small for the tuba. They say it looks fun. It's like, look at the big, giant horn. They're cool. But it would have really sucked to try and carry it to school. I don't think I could have done it. Again, I already was like, the trumpet's hard to carry. It's heavy. Chris is not amused. Because I'll say, it's like, hey, your soul, can I have that? And Chris is like, sus. Yeah. Alas, I did not play the tuba. I did play the trumpet for a little bit. And the hardest song we had to play for the trumpet was Jurassic Park theme. Because that's like all trumpet all the time. Why do they carry the tuba to school every day? Alright, be right back for one more stretch. Did our stretch. I return. Yeah, I think one of my little brothers did choir, but middle school band was kind of tough sometimes because it was supposed to be a marching band, and marching bands are supposed to have all these they have this particular sound to it, and the problem was that our school marching band had basically like 3 or 4 tubas, including me, like 2 to 3 saxophones, 1 oboe, 1 or more tubas, 1 to 2 tubas, and some drums, and then like 75% flute and clarinet. Like, it was so much flute and clarinet. And that's not really what you want for a marching band. So the flute and clarinet would like drown out everybody else because we just had like tons and tons and tons of flute and clarinet because that's what most people wanted to play, and not many people wanted to play brass or drums, which you need for marching band. And so I think our band teacher was a little bit harrowed. I realized I started on the wrong layer again. Hold on, I'll relabel. 2 bows, that's 4 bows. Yeah, we don't know much about Ralsei in the actual game. He is a bit of a mystery. That's why people like to speculate about him. He is fun to speculate about. What is his deal? Okay, percussion does not seem like the easy one. Those are the people that like our band teacher was always yelling at because they have to keep the tempo for everybody else. So if your tempo is off, everybody else is off too, and that's stressful. So yeah, we didn't have that many drums. A lot of flute and clarinet. Alright, most of this is gonna be hidden because his hand is black. I'm not quite sure how drums would be the easy one, but oh well. Maybe if you're doing triangle or something. Yeah, that's true. If you like hitting things, then drums is for you. But having to keep the beat and the tempo is kind of a big deal. Kind of a big old honking deal. Poor one person playing the oboe, though. Our single marching band oboe. I'm not even sure what kind of marching band stuff we did. We didn't really do anything for, like, school sports. We didn't really have much in the way of that. We had, like, cheer teams, so we must have had some sports. I don't remember ever playing at them. Must have been like a parade or something like that. We did some kind of parade, but I don't remember what it was. What the parade was for. Yeah, I don't think that Rouse is evil. I don't think he is a bad guy or a villain, but I don't think he needs to be a bad guy in order for him to end up being like an antagonist or a problem down the line. So I can see him being an antagonist. I don't think he's evil. Because honestly, like, Toby doesn't really do much in terms of like writing characters that are pure evil and malice. So I don't even think the Knight is that way. Yeah, like, he is definitely hiding things, but he seems to genuinely want to help people. So if he is hiding stuff, I feel like he is doing it because he's like, well, hiding things is how I'm going to help. And that'll probably end up not being the case, but that's his thinking, his reasoning. We'll just have to see. I'm curious to see how he's going to react Chapter 3 with, Chris, why did you make a dark fountain? Kind of thing. Yeah, I think it could easily be like he wants to do the right thing, but he either has motives to keeping things as they are, or he has been given bad instructions. Yeah, I do want to play Delta Traveler. Once that's all done, I'm waiting for, like the other games, I'm waiting for it to be done. And I'll probably play Undertale Yellow next, because I think that hopefully it'll be done by the time I finish Spiritfarer. I'm very sad about stuff with bits and pieces. That's too bad. And it sucks for the team. Good grief. It's all these terrible risks you take when you're trying to do like a big group fan project. Yeah, I feel bad for the rest of the team. Like, people were just asking me about that on Tumblr, too. They were like, you gonna play that? And, like, I guess so, but I don't know when. And then, like, the day after. Good grief. Yeah, I want to play Yellow once that's done. Okay, well, hopefully if it comes by the time I finish, Spiritfarer, that'd be nice. Ooh, animatics. Yeah, it's bits and pieces. It's like including, you know, people like Susie and Noelle and Birdley and Undertale, because they are almost certainly exist in that world. We just didn't see them in the game for any variety of reasons. Oh no! Oh no! Oof. Ow. Oof. I'm sad. Sad times. Yeah. Crossing fingers that never happens to me because, oh, I cannot imagine. I don't think anybody knew it was the thing. I think that was, like, this isn't even like a, oh no, internet drama and canceling. This is like a real life thing. Like, way outside the realm of internet stuff, so. I mean, they might decide to do something else with it. It's up to the team, I think, what they want to do with it. But that's a really untenable position to be in. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can imagine they wouldn't want to compete with that. But I want to wait till basically, like, I want all the fan games I want to play, I want to wait till they're done. I don't really want to do, like, okay, you know, here's chapter by chapter kind of thing. I'm already doing that with Eldritchrune. I'd rather play, like, the complete version of the game when it's done, or when, like, the creators are like, this is as done as it's going to be, basically. Then I want to do that. So I want to do that with Undertale Yellow, with Delta Traveler, and the TS Underswapped fan game. Were the 3 I was keeping an eye on. Sort by complete works on AO3. Dun dun. Yeah. Yeah, sure I'll do Undertale Yellow on Friend Power Friday nights when it's done. Yeah. Honestly, when chapters 3 and 4 come out, I've told, like, my director friend, hey, I'm gonna take some time off of work just to play this, and she's like, that's totally fair. I was kind of expecting them to get 3, 4, and 5 together, but 3 and 4 is fine, too. I just wonder how they're gonna do 5. Like, are they gonna do 5 with 6 and 7? Are they gonna do 5 separate and then 6 and 7? Or how will this work? Oh, nice. It's always really fun when, like, you can introduce somebody new to the game. You're like, yes, I get to vicariously experience somebody experiencing it for the first time. Urgent situation, video game. Exactly. I have vacation days. I'm allowed to use them for whatever I want. I've been building these up. Oh wait, was this Undertale? He was just doing murder monster stuff. Oh, that's the problem is, like, unless you're deliberately trying to do, you know, genocide route, that's harder because you're probably just going to get a really bad neutral route. Like, you have to deliberately try to do Geno. You have to, like, otherwise, if you're just killing a bunch of monsters and kill a bunch of bosses, but not everybody, then, like, you're probably going to get Queen Alfie's ending, which is a very, like, it's an ending I like, but it's very dark. Oh, I like blowing the flute. I should check that out, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, people should talk about the neutral endings more because they're very fascinating. Queen Alfie's ending is basically, yeah, exactly. Queen Alfie's is kind of like Geno, but a step down. If you kill all the bosses, but not all the other monsters, like if you miss some monsters, I think include, but you kill everybody else, then Alfie's basically takes over the underground herself, and her personality, like, is basically forced to alter pretty significantly, and she says, I should have killed you when I had the chance to Frisk. Like, bam! It's cool and scary. But yeah, Queen Alfie's ending is basically almost Geno, but you didn't get everybody. There's so many different kinds of, like, and I feel like if you, I think it's that if you map out all the different dialogue variations, there's something like technically 90 different neutral endings. Or like 88 or 87 different neutral endings. If you don't count, you know, Pacifist and Gino. Like, stuff can change pretty radically depending on just, like, small things you can do. Yeah, Alphys! Needs more love. I have a small reference to the Alphys ending in Dog the Future Past at one point. Just a little one. Okay, so he hasn't killed Papyrus, for example. Like my first playthrough, I think I got Queen Undyne ending, because I just went in blind. I didn't really know how to do anything. And, you know, I was like, okay, I've heard that you're supposed to spare things, so I'll try and do that. But, you know, I might have killed, like, one or two things here or there. And then I also, I killed Toriel. Like, I did the accidental thing where you think you're wearing her down, and then that last hit just killed her. So I fell for that trick. And I didn't reset after that. So I'm like, oh, shoot, no, I didn't mean to do that, but I guess I'll keep going. And, so I did. And from that, I think you get the Queen Undyne ending, and she takes over and promises to come get you because, if Undyne isn't alive, if Toriel isn't alive, then Undyne is the one who takes over. Yeah, there's probably a lot of different challenges depending on like what Sans tells you if you do stuff with the snowman and all that other stuff like that. But there's a lot of variations. Yeah, like, it's really nice. Detroit Become Human wishes. It could be that cool. But that is very much a situation where it feels like, oh, even your little choices, you know, had an impact, even if it's just through the dialogue you get at the end. Yeah, exactly. Like, I never did... The only time I did that, again, with Undyne, or with Toriel, was by accident. I didn't mean to. And I just lived with that decision instead of resetting, because I didn't think to do that. But otherwise, like, I've never done a Geno run-through. I've never done a Snowgrave route. And I really don't want to, so I really hope Toby doesn't pull the thing of, like, oh, you have to do the Snowgrave route in order to get the true ending, because you have to get weird. I don't think he will, because I don't think that's how he rolls. But there's, like, a small part of me that's, like, afeared. So please don't do that, Toby. I don't want to have to... Like, I'll be interested to see what people do with that route. But I don't personally want to play it. Yeah, there's just so many dialogue options. But yeah, Detroit Become Human is like, it wishes, it could, it cannot. Oh no. Yeah, there's some stuff in like Detroit Become Human just does not line up in terms of like how they set up the characters or choices or anything like that. Very much forward thinking. I also find it funny that he was so successful with this when he's like, I didn't really know how to program. Like, apparently all the dialogue in the game is just like a long page of if statements. Which is probably how I would program it. I'm like, okay, I understand what an if statement is. I'll just do that forever. All if statements all the time. Yeah, so some of the endings in Detroit are just like, okay, this is not really fitting with what the story of the characters are. Oh, oof. I don't think that game's ever coming out, so the end for that. I think the difference between like why Toby's games succeed at doing choice very well and David Cage's do not is because Toby actually really likes and understands the medium of video games and what makes the medium strong and what makes it work. And David Cage wishes he was making movies, or rather wishes he had the prestige of making movies, and doesn't really know or care to know why the medium of video games works the way it does. Yeah, he wants to make interactive movies, he does not want to make games, whereas Toby wants to make games. And so he makes good games. Yeah, I'm not sure how Snowgrave Roots will end. I'm sure it'll be interesting, and I'll see what other people do, and incorporate that into like my character basis, because that's always interesting. Like stuff. Yeah, Eric Salad Bar is really good. Has really good videos, but I hope that it's not a thing of like, oh, if you want the true ending, if things actually do well in Eldritchrune, you have to do Snowgrave, because I don't want to do that. I just want to do Pacifist. That is what makes me happy. You say video games are cool. It's true. I like doing Eldritchrune with so much fluff. Yeah, so much fluff. Yeah, I don't think you should probably bother with the other David Cage games. Like, Detroit is his best game, but that's still not saying much. The others just kind of get laughably bad. Like, I remember watching, what was it, two best friends play, like, what was the Indigo Prophecy, I think it was. And it is really funny how bad that game is. It's so weird. It makes no sense. Yeah. Like, the reason why I think people like, thing like Geno and Snowgrave is basically like, Heavy Rain's not good either, but, basically, I think they're really good at fleshing out the characters. And that's like, okay, what would the characters do in this if you did this? Well, now you know. That's why people play those things, is like, okay, you have the challenge of the, battles, but most parts getting the lore, I think. And even then, like, I feel like, at least from my understanding, that, did I do all this in the wrong layer again? Yeah, I did. Gosh darn it, I thought I had changed it. Hold on, I gotta copy paste. Basically, even then, I think that, Snowgrave does what Geno was trying to do better, and that you still got this sense of, like, huge unease that you're doing something wrong, but, like, it's just, it's still fun to play, it's still engaging to play, and it's not just a total slog. But you still have this sense of, oh, this is super wrong, I should not be doing that. So, I do think that the weird route, Snowgrave route, whatever you want to call it, is probably an improvement over how Geno works out. Like, I think regardless of anything else, I don't agree with the idea that, like, oh, the player is bad for playing the game. I don't think that's the message that's trying to be sent. Like, oh, you, the player, are evil for enjoying this entertainment. Yeah. Yeah, also just, I'm a video game wimp and I could not get through Geno because I probably couldn't beat the boss battles and I would get too frustrated trying to do it. Yeah. Yeah, like in some ways it's even like scarier than Geno, because it's like, okay, you know that when you're doing Geno, you're doing that because you're like, oh, I gotta see what happens, and I like the number go up thing. And Snowgrape doesn't even get much of the number go up. It's just, oh, this is getting darker and darker and darker. Darker yet darker, you could say. Wah, wah. I think I tried Bad Time Simulator at one point, and it was okay, but it didn't feel the same as, like, the actual game. Like, the timing was just a little bit off and all of that. It was very hard to explain. Yeah. Well, it's just traumatized poor Noelle. What I really hope it's not a thing of like, oh, you only get Suzelle together in Snowgrave. Like, oh, that would make me sad. Please no. Don't do that to me. They deserve to be happy. Yeah. That's that very brief moment where you go to first save and it's like, Chris, no, not anymore. Too late for you to do anything about that. You're not happy, I'll say. Yeah, seriously. That's why I don't really understand the thing of like, oh, I hope that Susie rejects Noelle. And she goes crazy. And I'm like, she's already going through all this crap. Why are we making things worse? I don't understand. Like, her sister is missing for years. Her best friend kind of barely talks to her. Her dad is dying. Her mom is awful. Let her have her hot girlfriend. Let her have her big, strong, cool teeth girlfriend. Let her have this. And yeah, there are people that are like, oh, she should be even crazier. And I'm like, no, I don't really want that. I mean, maybe it'll happen, but I don't think it's something I want. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't think she's boring or bad right now as a character. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's gonna subvert the romance. And I'm like, but to what end? What does this add? Like, subversion for the sake of subversion is really not that exciting or transgressive. Yeah, they think Noelle should be like a yandere. And it's like, no, that's not how she rolls, and that's not how she should roll. Yeah, I don't want her to be miserable. Like, and obviously, like, you know, it's fine to explore this stuff in fan fiction and stuff like that. I mean, literally, here I am being like, what if everybody was a big scary monster and ate people and it was scary? Like, because that's fun. But also, this is not canon. This is a fun thing to play in while we're waiting for more canon. And it's fun to design a scary creature. Nice. Yeah, her vibe is funny little nerd girl. She likes to play her scary video games and look up videos she shouldn't, and she is a bit of an overachiever and runs on track, and I need to stop and do my stretches. It's stretchy time. Yeah, like, no, I think Noelle was interesting enough that she doesn't need to be made, you know, ooh, into a freaky, mean yandere to be interesting. I think she's plenty interesting on her own, as she is right now. Yeah, I feel like at this thing, like with Susie and Noelle, that a romance between them would enhance their characters, not make it worse. I feel like if they, like, didn't do the romance, it would be a regression of their characters, because I know I've explained this on Tumblr before in some capacity or other, but it feels like if they didn't get together, then it would reinforce the negative feelings that they already have about themselves. Like, no, Susie, you can't be in a relationship. You screw up any, you know, relationships you're in because, you know, you're just a bad person. And no, Noelle, you can't, you know exactly what you want because you're foolish and naive. I feel like it just reiterates negative character aspects that they are already are trying to climb out of. I'd be down with Arrow Susie. Actually, you know what I secretly want? I want Ace Azrael. I think it'd be very funny if Azrael was Ace, because he's already been kind of played up as like, you know, oh, you know, he's really big with the ladies, and he's into, you know, drawing the dragons, and oh, he's, you know, the golden child, and everybody thinks he's so cool and hot and popular. I think it'd be really nice if he was Ace. I thought that would be fun. Probably not going to happen, but I would enjoy it. You win either way. Exactly. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and more water. Okie dokie, I'm coming back. Ace reel. Ultimate multi-ship. You wield all the power. No matter who wins, you win. Bum bum bum. And I can see why all the ships are popular. I got nothing against people who are like, yeah, why are you shipping that? It's like, because it's fine. People can ship what they want. Like even, you know, Krause, which I feel like is, you know, probably in trouble just because of my thoughts on Krause. Like, people want to ship that, that's fine. Don't let me stop you. It's silly. Don't waste your time on that. That's what I used to do when I was younger, was getting to ship wars. Now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, who cares though? I ain't got time for that. I'm gonna sit on my porch. You know, honestly, I'd be fine with, I don't think this is gonna happen, but it'd be kind of cool if there was also, you know, a OT3 going on with, Noelle and Susie and Chris. I'd be down for that. Some people ship a character? Oh no! Some people are like, I think those fictional characters should get together. Like, even stuff like, you know, people get really uptight about Franz, and like, I don't like Franz. I think it's kind of weird. But I'm not going to be like, you can't ship that. That's impossible. Like, I'm just going to not read it. Because I don't want to do, I don't want to. It's so easy to just not do a thing. People have tastes different from me? Impossible! I don't like this, and no one should, because I've attached my morality to which fictional characters I want to smooch. Maybe I should not do that. Yeah. Like, I'm not into it either, but people get kind of weird about hating that ship, and I'm like, guys, it's not that big a deal. Sometimes people like weird stuff. It's okay. Ain't none of my business. Or at least go outside. Yeah, it is a fictional skeleton. It is not a real person. Even if the fiction is like, what if this was a real person? It's not actually a real person. Not for realsies. plenty more things to worry about on planet Earth. Ugh. Like, man, I wish all I had to worry about was people, fictional characters are shipping. Wouldn't that be nice? Like a world in which that's all we have to worry about. That's a good world. Oh, childhood friends is interesting. Open up, it's the fandom police. As somebody who tried to be the fandom police for a while, like, don't be the fandom police. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. In real life, people are like, what are you talking about? I don't care. I have real problems. I'm saying it would be nice if all of our real problems were actually just fake problems. I mean, we're not real ones. That is the thing that I wish for. I'm sure we'll never be problem free, but I'm sure it would be nice if our problems were more fake. Problematic. Yeah, as somebody who tried to be the fandom police at some point when I was younger, do not be the fandom police. It will get you nowhere. Anyways, back to reality. Susie should kiss everybody. Or at least everybody wants Susie to kiss them. Okay, here's a quick question. What does SMP stand for? I see, like, you know, DSMP or QSMP or, like, all these other, like, SMPs. I know it's a Minecraft thing. What does it actually stand for? Server multiplayer. Okay. I'm gonna try to remember that. Server multiplayer. Okay. Like, literally, all I know is, like, this is supposedly a Minecraft thing, but I don't get it. What is SMP? Okay. It's server multiplayer. Okay. Now I know the answer. Or survival multiplayer? Or server? Minecraft. How are you still going? I've actually never played Minecraft, and I honestly probably never will. Oh, survival multiplayer of Minecraft. Okay. Survival multiplayer Minecraft. Okay. You might need to reset your router if you're having a problem like that. Well, that's very annoying. I just need to replace my RAM, knock on wood. Okay. Yeah, I know there's like a peaceful builder mode and a, oh no, here's where the zombies and monsters are mode. So I know that much at least. It's nice that there's variety. I have never played Minecraft. I'm sorry. You know what I played when I was little? I played with Legos. That was my Minecraft. And Playmobil. I played real life Minecraft. And we liked it. We'd get all these giant 2 plastic tubs full of Legos and drag them out to the big, you know, living room floor. And we dump them all out on the floor and just play Legos. With that, create a walking hazard for days. Amazing. And we liked it. Yeah, real Legos. Lincoln Logs! I had Lincoln Logs too. I had Lincoln Logs as a kid. I think we had like maybe 2 sets of Lincoln Logs. Those were so satisfying. Another thing we had when I was younger, and these were actually kind of fancy. I don't know how my parents afforded them. We had Brio trains, which were these little wooden trains, and you could, you know, snap all the little rail pieces together. And they were made of wood and put little trains on them. We had Brio trains. So those were nice. And again, Playmobil was kind of expensive too. How did my parents get all that? They didn't have a lot of money. They thought we were just going to buy us nice toys. We did play with them though, so, you know, success there. Yeah. It wasn't a Tom's the Tank Engine train set. Although I think we did have Tom's the Tank Engine at some point. I'm pretty sure we did. But we did have these wooden train sets where, you know, you would have all these different train tracks and you put them together. Kind of in the same way that it was Lincoln Logs, but different kind of wood. Yeah, we had Legos and we had Playmobil. I don't think we ever got Duplos. We were too old for Duplos by the time parents could afford toys like that. Yeah, I love them wood train tracks. Oh, almost forgot Chris's face! Magnetic little plastic tiles. I don't think we had those. Although another thing we had when I was younger. I'm thinking all these toys I remember when I was younger. We had these marble sets. Where basically you had like all these big plastic, like, you know, racing things. And you could put together a big tower and race your marbles down. I don't remember what the name of it was. It was just like marbles. But those were super fun. You could like kind of snap them together to make different marble racing tracks. So we would have those, and those were super fun. And have all these, like, you'd have, you know, a slide or a ramp or a funnel you could put your marbles in. Duplos are exclusively manufactured in Hungary. Interesting. I did read a lot of books as a kid too, but like if I was playing with my little brother, we would play with all kinds of toys. We had, you know, those wooden blocks and Lincoln Logs and Playmobil. We had a lot of toys. We have so many. We got like these plastic dinosaurs we would play with all the time. Some Jurassic Park stuff. Come on, Chris, just sell your soul to a demon. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's fine. Totally fine. See? Ralph's happy about it. Yeah, I was well into, like, high school, college, by the time, Harry Potter started coming out. I was not a little child. Geopolitical roleplay. Yeah, we had this big, basically... Honestly, I was thinking about this recently, but the whole thing with, like, playing Chapter 1 of Eldritchrune just reminded me of, like, when I was a kid, and me and my little brother would play toys together, and we had this big ongoing, you know, soap opera called The Story. And it was the bads versus the goods. And who was bad and good was just, like, totally arbitrary. Like, one of the goods was, like, a dinosaur checker piece. And then one of the other... And then another dinosaur, which was basically like a yellow sticky you put in the bathtub, was, like, the king of the bads. And they would have all these, like, big, you know, epic geopolitical battles and stuff. Just, you know, random lore for whatever the heck. So, like, I don't know, just seeing Eldritchrune Chapter 1 again and, like, how that all worked out. I'm like, this is like how I used to play with my little brother. We would have a random checker piece be super powerful. Like, that's just how you did as a kid, so it made me happy. And then, like, I don't know, seeing Toby's newsletter talking about how, like, he would, you know, draw things and Mega Man levels on the back of church bulletins at church, and I'm like, I would draw stuff on the church bulletins too! And, like, oh, just, it's nice. Weird kind of kinship thing going on. Yeah, Chris, what could possibly be worse than that? Yeah, did we have army men? I don't know if we did. My mom had G.I. Joes growing up, though. We had, you know, checkers and chess, and I remember one Christmas, when we were very, very little, we moved to a new house, my mom got this big, it was a rocking horse, but it was a rocking dinosaur. And so we really liked that thing, and we would just, you know, rock on this big painted green dinosaur. Everyone drowned during the flood. That's so funny. Jenga countries. Yeah, it's always like big serious stuff you would play as a kid. Like another thing we would play as a kid with my brother was, you know, wet season and dry season. And we would have the dinosaurs out in the backyard. And we're like, it's the dry season. The dinosaurs can't find any food and they're dying in the drought. What are they gonna do now? And then we're like, oh no, it's the wet season. Now everything's flooded and there's floods everywhere. And then for that we would just get the hose and just like spray the hose all over where the dinosaurs were and make the place all horribly muddy, which I'm sure Dad really liked. It's like, oh no, it's the wet season. Oh, here come the floods. And then we would accidentally leave the dinosaurs out in the backyard and forget about them, and then they would get run over by the lawnmower and lose their tails, and it was very sad. Oh no, don't throw rocks at kids, those actually hurt. Don't do it. Even if they are very throwable. I know. They probably weren't encouraged, to be fair. As a kid, you don't know. You're just like, okay, here's the battles they're gonna do. See, everybody would play, like, Sims. But when I was little, we didn't have Sims. We had the original Sim City on, like, our black and white Mac. And that was what I played in terms of computer stuff, was Sim City. And it's just like, I have to build this residential zone in a place where we can do that. But it has to have access to the traffic, and oh no, a tornado's coming! Their Sim City is, ah! Yeah, I don't remember when The Sims first came out, but I did not have Sims as a kid. We had just the city. I think like as I was growing up, they started to introduce, you know, like Sim World and Sim Theme Park and I don't know, whatever ones they wanted to do. Turn them into a dog zombie. A dog bee. I don't know. Those were the good times. No responsibilities, just playing weird stuff with your siblings in the backyard. We also, because we had like some Oregon Trail Playmobil, we would play Oregon Trail in the backyard. It's like, oh, they're starting at the top of the big hill where it's dry and they have to go on the Oregon Trail to, you know, the West Coast. Oh no, they didn't ford the river and now they're gonna drown. Ah! Oregon Trail was fun. That's another very old school game that we played. Yeah, no, I played outside a lot when I was a kid. Mostly because we didn't have game consoles growing up. Like we did have a home computer. So we played some stuff on the home computer, but my parents kind of discouraged that. They didn't really like us playing a lot of stuff on screens. So there was a lot of playing outside. And it helped that, you know, I had a sibling that was my age and we liked playing together, so we would do that. Hello, thank you for coming to the stream. We're talking about games from childhood, I guess. Well, Rouse is over here getting Chris to sign their soul away. That won't end badly at all. I know we had some educational games. Like, we had this kind of spelling game, the spelling bee game. Yeah, Carmen Sandiego. We had the original Carmen Sandiego on like our old black and white Mac as well. And that was a hard game to play because like if we didn't know the answer to like, you know, the geography trivia or whatever, I'm like, Dad, how do we progress? We don't know the trivia. And Dad's like, well, you look it up in the almanac. So we'd have to get out our big paper almanac and try and, like, you know, figure out what the answer was to whatever trivia they were doing. Yeah, it's even harder if you're behind on stuff. Man, I imagine it was harder to do even like that, you know, geopolitical games like Carmen Sandiego in the 80s and 90s and stuff's changing all the time. Chris is like, so my soul, okay. Yeah, you have to get like an actual almanac and look up the answers yourself. Like, we're not gonna hide the fact that we're tricking you into learning geography. Just do it. What are you, bad at games? Well, look it up. Do your research. Oh, the Balkans, yeah. Good grief. But honestly, you know what? They were correct. Geography is actually really important to know. Like, hey, when are you gonna have to learn this in school? Like, geography is actually like something you use a lot in real life. It's important to know. So yeah, learning geography actually useful. Thank you, Carmen Sandiego. And cool, geography is cool. It's important and it's cool. Honestly, I feel like they should kind of teach geography more in like older classes. Like, it's the kind of thing that you kind of go over when you're a younger kid. Then you kind of stop in high school and college. Like, but that's important stuff to know, like, relevant to your life. It's important to know where things are and how to find things. Like, I'm always so impressed with, like, you know, I'm watching speed runs or something. And these people are like speedrunning GeoGuessr, where they're like, yeah, I figured out exactly where I am on Earth in like 30 seconds based on, you know, what kind of car it is and where, like, how big the street signs are. Like, how do you do that? No, it's true. We're not really taught geography in school. It's not great. It's not great. Like, social studies stuff is important. There are a lot of things, like, you know, you don't really use much when you get older. Geography is one of them. It's actually a really helpful thing to learn. I should start doing, like, a, what is it, Worldle? Where it's basically Worldle. Ugh. It's World, but you do geography instead of words. Yeah, I don't even know if they offered a geography class in my high school, not that I can recall. And I was mostly taking art classes anyway, but... Yeah, they kind of stopped that with social studies from middle school. It's cool, and it's relevant to your life. And it makes you look smart. Like, I like being able to know where countries are. In a lot of places, I'm like, I don't remember exactly where a country is. Like, I might be like, okay, I know it's in this general area, but I'm not entirely sure. So honestly, my geography could probably stand to be a lot better. And like capitals, I don't know a lot of capitals. That's relevant. Oh, yeah, that's useful for like strategy games, stuff like that. I used to play a lot of Risk with my siblings. Yeah, it's definitely tough if, like, you've got ADHD or something else that's making it hard to focus, and you've got to, like, have basically separate game plans for how you learn stuff. It's not impossible, it's just hard, especially with how school is for a lot of kids. Oh yeah, like, I couldn't tell you what African rivers or Asian mountains are. Like, I wouldn't know that. Like, I'm sure I'd like to look it up, but was I taught that? Do I know that? Nope. Heck, I probably don't even know where a lot of American rivers are. Chris is just a little bit unsure. They're signing their soul away. You read the Federalist Papers for fun. Yeah, mean, if nothing else, Carmen Sandiego is a great way to learn geography. Because it makes it fun. And relevant. And it's both those things. Yeah, basically the Wordle thing is silhouettes of countries. And you have to guess the country based on the silhouette. So if you're good at that, look that up and give that a try. I've seen some people play it and it's fascinating, but it's pretty hard. And like the way they tell you if you're close is like, you know, if you make a guess and it's wrong, then they'll tell you how far away your actual destination is and whether it's like north from here, northwest from here, whatever. Why will Chris be selling their soul? Because I'll say it's like, if you do that, then I'll help you get home. Chris is like, okay. Carmen Sandiego is the coolest. I do have some friends who worked on the most recent Carmen Sandiego show, which was really good. Yeah, there were a couple of different Carmen Sandiego shows in the 90s. They had like the kind of game show one, and then they had the regular cartoon. I have cool friends because I work in animation, and everybody who works in animation is very cool. Well, not everybody, but most people. People who are in animation are cool folks. I know this for facts. I don't know why I'm there, but, you know, everybody else is pretty cool. But yeah, the most recent Carmen Sandiego cartoon I'm talking about was the one that was on Netflix. And it was a little lighter on the geography stuff, but heavier on a like character basis and ongoing plot. And also kind of cast Carmen more in a, you know, like a hero rather than a, you know, protagonist, but she's still a thief kind of thing. Well, I'm glad. I know there's definitely some artists that are not kind of encouraging, so you gotta watch out for that, but I feel like if you have any kind of success in art and all, it's like your obligation to be encouraging, because that makes such a huge difference in other artists that are young. Especially like when you're really young. You really need that encouragement. Like, thank goodness my parents were pretty encouraging of me going into the arts. Probably should have listened to more stuff, because they're like, you should learn how to draw people, you only draw animals. I'm like, but I don't want to draw people. And I got older, I'm like, I should know how to draw people better. Wah, wah. That's very true. Important to support juniors in any field, because you're probably going to be working with them one day. And also just like, you know, you benefit from other people's, that's a weird line. You benefit from other people's, you know, ideas and stuff like that and work. Yep. We're all just trying to give each other decent enough advice. That's all we can do. Oh, interesting. Translation stuff is probably always a very useful field. You know how to talk to each other. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I just want to draw furries, but I'm like, nope. It's important to know how to draw people. It's important to know how to draw a little bit of everything, honestly. Line is still looking bad. A little bit of everything makes your life easier. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. It's not good to get scammed on a job. Okay, let's, yeah, we'll go ahead and open 306. And start on that before I take my break. Now, we're not going to outline the heart, because we'll get done later. Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was a good movie. I should see that again, because that was a great movie, actually. I liked it anyway. I feel like I'm constantly overshooting with this kind of stuff. Aww. I will reblog the fan arts, but I like them. They are cool. Ross is like, yes, Soul Time! My favorite! I get my very own soul. It's human and everything. That's good. Start getting stuff out there. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad they're doing another little artistic art server there for folks. And you probably need to like add my stuff to that fanfic server that I just joined recently too. He does not eat their soul. At least not right now. Wah wah. But no, he does not. Just chomps right into it like eating an onion or something. Ah! I feel like sometimes isn't picking up my brush. That's cool. It's nice to get that. Silly fanfic servers. He's gonna go bury it in the woods and dig it up later. Save this for winter. I do cool thing with like, you know, cool scary face. Big scare hand. Oh, forgot the pen. Okay, after I finish this panel, I'm gonna take a quick break to stretch and also grab a muffin because I'm getting hungry. I need my breakfast muffins, or in this case, lunch before breakfast muffins. It's fun to draw little claw things. It's a fun time. Yeah, I'll do the soul separately because I don't think I need an outline for that. First, stretch, and then I will get a muffin, stuff it in my face real quick for added muffin power. Yeah, we'll probably get through all the lines today, and then I can start in on the character base, and then continue into that tomorrow. Although before I do that, I also need to finish Anthrofractal. Ooh, long break. Brunch muffins. Bruffins, which sounds like bro muffins? Broffins? I don't think it's really brunch because it's like middle of the afternoon for me. So, muffin stuff. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Always appreciate you being here. Always a good time. I nom the muffins. Yeah, first stretches. Stretchy, stretchy. Now, Alfie was very clingy today, but then at some point I was sitting down, and she climbed down my back and fell into the crack of the chair, and I'm like, girl, why are you doing that? And she's like, no, I'm here now. Goodbye. Silly girl. Silly Billy. She was fine. She just kind of I'm in the chair. Can't you sit on my head? She could. She probably shouldn't because her claws are very sharp and that would dig into my head. Alright, be right back for another stretch and a muffin. Okay, I'm coming on back. Okay. Yes, I do have a server. We talk about Undertale Eldritchrune quite a bit. And I recently joined one that's a lot of Undertale Eldritchrune fanfic. Oh yeah, the recent Twin Runes. I mean, Kara is always a little bit of a meanie that way, but I think it's kind of alluding to the fact that Chris, you know, obviously seems to have a thing for moss, for eating moss, and I think for their purposes they always like, you know, kind of they're a bit of a trash eater. I think that's something I would more attribute to Susie than Chris, but I can definitely see Chris doing that for, you know, more the. Oh, sorry about the ads. I'll wait till the ads are over. We'll do some rousey while we're waiting for the ads to be over. Them ads. Get out of here, ads. Excuse me. I do some cool flowy poses. I like doing the big flowy poses. What? You paid for the subscription. You should not be in ad land. You should be ad free. That's the way to be. Especially pay for the subscription. That's weird. Maybe it hasn't gone through yet or something. Excuse me. Maybe it was something else? I don't know. Anyways, let me know when you're free from Adland. Continue on. Excuse me. Try refreshing the page. Oh, part of I'll say claw is probably going to be missing there. Wait, no, we can still do this because we'll probably do a bit of a funky shine on that and all that. Funky shine. Oh, nice. I need to do something with the channel points. Ah, something funky you can do with them. Well, let me give you a link to my server if you like. I'll grab that real quick. Invite people. I really need to, boop, there you go, that's my server. I need to get like a bot that can do that. Yeah, stretch break, hydration break, always good stuff. I have to, unfortunately, I have to do stretch breaks regularly. I can't depend on them for, points because of the way I injured myself a few years ago. So I have to take the breaks no matter what. Boy, she gonna stop drawing for a bit. If that's for my server, in which there are discussions of many a kind. Yeah, I was thinking of doing a thing with like the channel points where like if you collect enough you can request a little doodle that'll add to like this big doodle page, and then when the doodle page is full I'll like post it and stuff like that. But that might be kind of cool. I seem to like set that up. You can do the very important message. It's highlighted, I see it there. Okay, what were we saying about Chris? Basically, well, I think they, you know, might eat weird things for attention or because they think it's funny. I think Susie is the one more likely to have an eating problem because she, like, Chris will eat weird things here and there. Susie definitely does it, like, all the time, and it's pointed out of it. But I can see why you can get that headcanon for Chris because they do it at least a little bit. Yeah, like a little collaborative request page. Like nothing really big, just like very small doodles kind of thing. Like something that'll take me like, 2 or 3 minutes so it doesn't interrupt the drawing too much. But that was something I thought could be fun to do for redeeming channel points. Then it's like, hey, if you hang out and watch, you can redeem a little doodle. And I can kind of always have that open. So yeah, this is something I need to set up at some point. Otherwise, I think what other things you can redeem with channel points. Oodles of doodles, exactly. Yeah, like probably even smaller than like what I do for on Ask sometimes. Just like a funky little thing I can do in like 1 or 2 minutes. Very short. Yeah, I feel like Chris kind of does weird things and pranks like for the attention of it more than because out of maliciousness. I feel like they actually do like their friends and they just kind of feel like they really stick out and don't belong in the town, and that's why they're prone to like pranks and stuff like that. Exactly, mischief, not malice. That their prankingness is more like, hey, this is the only way I can know how to interact with you. Please notice me, kind of thing. Miss Chalice from Cuphead? Not quite. Although Cuphead is good. I probably couldn't play it, but I enjoyed the cartoon. Yeah, I don't think Chris is actually like, I'm scary evil, actually. I think they feel very outcast and not a part of their community and are doing various things to get, like, lashing out in various ways. I feel like their problem is, they're probably some kind of neurodivergent, and Toriel just doesn't really know how to handle that. Yep, Chris is off in a mood. And also the problem is, like, people redeem the channel points, like, when I'm playing a game, then that's different, and I'm not on camera, so you probably can't see me do a fun thing on camera. Yeah, I can see it like that. Like, basically it goes from, oh, you're that weird human to, oh, you're just that weird kid. And the weird things kind of distract from the fact that they are human, and so I feel like they feel very uncomfortable about being a human. For various reasons. Okay. I'm hiding Chris's face. I'm not sure about that. We haven't really seen much evidence of that so far. Because it seems like even while people are like, oh, you know, humans are kind of weird and we don't really get them, they don't seem, the monsters don't seem to, like, have a kind of, you know, animosity towards them. Just like, ah, ha, ha, you're weird, aren't you, Chris, kind of thing. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. And it's fine if you can't join the streams with a lot going on. Lurking is fine, too. Always nice to see new people. Yeah, I don't really know about that. I guess it also kind of depends on, like, you know, what the relationship is between monsters and humans in Eldritchrune. We have a better idea of how that is in Undertale, but I don't think necessarily that's the same way it is in Eldritchrune. Mostly because I don't think a war happened in Eldritchrune. Because I don't think that human and monster souls in Eldritchrune are very distinct from each other. Whereas that was the driving catalyst for, like, why that happened in Undertale. Thanks for joining the Discord. We talk about silly stuff, and also sometimes I'll, you know, post progress on things there. Post pictures of Alfies and doing it, being silly. Yeah, like, I feel like that is a thing with Chris and Toriel. Like, Toriel really wants to be a good parent, and she feels like she, you know, succeeded with Azrael because he's, you know, this really nice, smart, helpful, good, perfect child. And then she's like, well, I can, you know, do the same with, you know, this human child. And it doesn't quite work the same, and she doesn't know what to do with that. So she's just kind of like, well, if I just keep trying to be a really good mom, it'll be fine, right? It'll be fine, you know, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, when what she's doing, while has no bad intentions at all, is not really what Chris needs. Like, it's some of what they need, but it's not everything that they need. Yeah, we know she did that because there was a book about taking care of humans that she's repeatedly borrowed that seems to have made Chris kind of uncomfortable. I'm glad we've got another good art community going on there too. But yeah, so clearly Chris feels uncomfortable being a human, and Toriel doesn't really know how to respond to that. Do I think Undertale Toriel or Eldritchrune Toriel would be a better parent? I mean, I think the circumstances for Eldritchrune Toriel are obviously a lot better than Undertale Toriel. Whereas in Undertale, she's under way worse circumstances that are severely working against her. I know there was all this discussion recently of, you know, is magic a thing in the light world? I don't think it is in the same way that it is in Undertale, basically. Like, I don't think monsters express themselves through magic. I don't even know if they're necessarily made of magic. Magic in the light world seems to exist the same way it does for us, in that we consider it like either, you know, a psychic thing or an occult thing or a religious thing. It's not really a video game thing the way it is in Undertale. So I don't think that, like, for example, monsters make bullet patterns and express themselves through magic. I don't even know if they're necessarily made of magic, but magic exists the same way we think of magic existing in our world. And that it's like, well, maybe it's kind of a thing, but it's a thing that you learn through, you know, book study, or if you're a religious person, it's not something you're really born with, like monsters are in Undertale. Your information is wrong. Like, yeah, I think that, like, monsters... Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was so cute to get her eating the banana. I'm like, okay, have a banana for her. This is a special treat. Let's film her eating the banana. And she's like, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, girl, bite the banana. It's right there in front of you. Bah, bah. And help her eat the banana. She's so silly. She's a silly girl. I wish she would eat her greens that well. Like, the problem with Alfie's giving Alfie's treats is that, like, you can't give her too many treats. Like, honestly, she can have one bite of banana per month. And also, you wouldn't get to see it on screen. I'd have to set up a camera to show her eating the banana. Like, bananas, like, they are good for berries in some ways. Like, they have some important vitamins, but also you can't give them too many bananas. Because bananas are high in potassium, as we all know, and potassium kind of interferes with calcium absorption, and calcium absorption is obviously very, very important for reptiles. Like, it's very important that they get and absorb calcium and vitamin D. So, bananas are a sometimes treat. Banana, here's your monthly banana subscription. Like, she loves bananas, as you saw. She was very excited about the banana. But, they are very much a sometimes treat because of the balance of, you know, vitamins and stuff like that. 8 bananas in a day is a lot of bananas. Humans are probably fine doing that because we're human, you know. But reptiles have a bit more delicate sense of balance for their diet, so. Bananas are just a rare, special, sometimes treat. Not something you have a lot of. Like, she can't have, like, any carbs. Like, carbs are a no, so no bread. Certain vegetables are a no. A lot of meat, like chicken, no. Like, she can have, you know, insects, and in the wild they might eat, like, pinky mice, but that's about it. 400 bananas, no! You're crushed under the weight of so many bananas. I can see bananas helping with a sore throat. You know, it's a kind of soft food. Or chocolate cake. But yeah. Some bananas are a special treat for Alfies. Poor Chris. Well, it's gonna get worse. We're gonna go back to the start of the part here where Chris first arrives, and they get kind of freaked out. No, they sold their soul now. I'm sure this won't have any terrible ramifications later down the way. I care them. I hope they're happy in canon. Please let everybody be happy in canon. It's fun to be spooky and scary with them in fandom, but please let them be happy in canon. That is honestly why I still think that, in spite of everything, that we're still going to end with being basically cut off from Chris. Like, cut off from controlling them. Because, I think that's the natural conclusion to their character arc. Is them being like, nope, I'm handling things myself now, because that's appropriate for them. There's a little weird little signature. It just makes sense in terms of where their character is going. Basically, them learning that they don't need anybody holding their hand, not even the demon they summoned. Oh, thank you. Thank you, little brother. Aw. We're about done with this. If I ate the muffin, why am I still hungry? Oh. Enough with that. And you have to stuff even more muffins and cookies in my face? And also, what's tempting is I have all these C's lollipops nearby. I'm like, oh, I really want a C's lollipop, but I don't think you want me to eat one on stream, because now you get the lollipop eating noises, which, well, maybe that's some kind of ASMR. What to snack on? Have baby carrots. They're good for you. I'm throwing my guitar at Toby Fox. Okay. We're done with the lines! Me eating a chocolate lollipop on screen. That'd probably sound really obnoxious. So I won't do it, but I want to. But I won't. Okie dokie. We're going back to the start. So we can add the character bases. And also, where's the palette? I'm not sure which one we should start with. Box of Kit Kats? I wish I had a box of Kit Kats. Yeah, exactly. If the characters don't get a happy ending, I'll fix that with a fan project. You can't stop me. I'll do it. Just you wish. Let's see. Okay, what's the background we have going on? Maybe we can do, I'm trying to judge, what would be the best thing to do for this. I should do dark or light. Also, actually, what did I do previously? What did I do previously for Rousey, for example? I'm gonna go back and try and find it. I know I have my palette thing. Okay, it was this one. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna stick with the dark version this time. Darkness. Darkness, 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 darkness. Okay. Yeah, lines are done. Time to do this part. I was trying to think of which one to do for it. Variations. That's okay. Rousey is not carrying them. They're kind of lying nearby. And Rousey is like, oh, yay! Hey, you're finally awake. Skyrim joke here. You ran into that ambush, same as us. Chris does need some love. They need some Kit Kats. Or Twix. I like me some Twix bars. Those are good. Oh, grapes are also a good thing to snack on. If you have some grapes, I'd say go for that. I should eat some grapes sometime. I almost never buy grapes for myself. Sweet, crunchy grapes. I don't like red grapes very much, but I do like green grapes. I've never played Skyrim either, but you know, the meme is easy to know. I see that around enough. I do like raisins. I don't like raisins in things. Like if you put raisins in baked goods, that's gross. Bleh to that. But like by themselves or part of like a trail mix or whatever, raisins are good. I just don't want raisins in my bread. Keep raisins out of that. Have raisins as just like their own little snack. Yeah. Well, Frisk. This is not Frisk. This is a Chris, a different human. Kind of freaked out because I just woke up and whoa, there's a demon over me. Big scary face. Eating grapes off the vine. That's the best way to eat grapes, is when you have them still on their little vines and stuff. And you just kind of pluck them off and eat them. That's the best way to eat grapes. Super fresh grapes. And by the end you have this weird little branchy, stickly thing you can, I don't know, do whatever you want with, I guess. Branchy, stickly thing. Worst to wake up from. Probably. Oh, wrong brush. Yeah, it's sad when they get like, it's Halloween, dude. You please give out the candy. Although there's worse things you can get than apples and grapes, I guess. Ah, yes, lightly frozen grapes, also good. And they're very crunchy. BRB, gotta freeze the grapes I'm eating. When is my next break supposed to be? I feel like I need a little bit more time for that. We'll keep going for a bit. And now I wish I had some Thin Mints too. I really like it when you get some Thin Mints. The Girl Scout cookies, and you put them in the freezer and they're just super cold, mint, crispy. Spider's wings. I haven't heard of that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, if you're wondering why this is all like the same color, this is just the base layer I put down, and then I usually color on top of that. It makes life easier. That's true. And apples are pretty good. I've still got all those apples I picked when we went to the apple farm. I've got some caramel sauce. I really need to use the apples before they go bad. It was fun trying out the apple farm, even if I immediately got sick afterwards, which sucked. It was a cute apple farm, and there was goats and bunnies we got to pet. That was great. I went to pet the goats. I got apple stuff. Actually, I'm going to try out some stuff today. I was going to make some grilled chicken, and I have some apple barbecue sauce I got at the apple farm. So I'm like, I want to try out this apple barbecue sauce. But I'll try it with my... I can't even say barbecue chicken because, like, I don't have a proper grill. I just have one of those little indoor grills. But, you know, better than nothing. With some barbecue sauce. Oh no. We're going to a party? No! Me when I was like 2 years old, Mom's like, we're going to the park, honey. No! I don't want to go. I'm going to throw a big hissy fit about it for no reason. Mom, there's a lump on my corn muffin. I can't eat it now. Ooh, leftover cupcakes, also good. POV, a social function. Yep. Ugh. The sad thing is, like, as the older I get, the more I'm like, I need to do social functions. It's like eating your vegetables. Like, when you don't do it, you're like, this is good, I don't want to eat my vegetables. Then you're like, once you do the social function, you're like, oh, I actually needed to do that. It was important for me to do the social function. Wait a minute, I like seeing my friends in real life. Why am I not doing that more often? Yeah, it does it kind of messes with your brain a bit. I have a friend that will be coming over in 2 weeks, but I wonder if I shouldn't do a social thing before then if anything comes up. I don't know if anything's going to come up, though. Oftentimes people are just busy. Oof. Oof, oof. Chaos style. But no, it is important to socialize at least a bit. Keeps you human. like this version of the song. Yeah, and I'm also looking forward to visiting family over Christmas break. I've not seen them in a while either. That's the last Christmas break, I guess. Okay. Even if you don't identify as human, still a good idea to do a little social thing. It's good for you. Listen to me. It's just, especially once you get, like, to be an adult, it gets harder, because, like, when you're a kid, you socialize all the time because you have to go to school to do it. So you can't help it. But, like, as you become an adult, you're like, either you see people at work or you don't, and it's like, oh no, I have to actually go out and spend time with people or else it's bad for my brain. And I know this is because I've been having some bad brain stuff lately, so, like, crap. I need to see a person. Especially since I'm not going into work, I'm still working from home. That's good. Yeah, I miss out on Thanksgiving now because, you know, it's too much of a pain to fly home for Thanksgiving. Especially right before Christmas. It's too expensive. And Canadian and American Thanksgivings don't really line up, so... Well, again, friend is coming over for what would be the equivalent of my Thanksgiving. So I'm like, hey, there, I'm going to be social on Thanksgiving. Even if it's just with one person, that still counts. Yeah, it gets really hard. It gets really hard when you can't see people. I can feel it weighing on me, even though I still don't want to go into the office in person, because it's more convenient to work from home. Take care of Alfie's better anyway. Don't have to commute. That's a nice thing. But then the hard part is I'm like, I haven't talked to many people. Like when I'm walking through the park, I'll say hi to some people I see regularly, but that's not quite the same thing as like hanging out with your friends and stuff like that. It makes you feel weird. It makes your brain do stupid stuff. That's alright. I'll probably go back over this later. Well, actually, what I probably need to do now is take a break. And, stretch. I need to get one more muffin. Chris is spooked. Fandom can have the power to make you like characters that you might not have otherwise. And then people are like, I like this character, and I'm going to share why I like this character. And then you're like, whoa, that's a cool reason to like the character. No, that's like, going into an office by yourself is even worse. Oh, I hate that. Alright, food is good. I'm up for my stretches. Gotta stretch. Gotta stretch. Yeah, it actually, again, you don't think about that much as a kid because you're almost by nature seeing people more often that you wouldn't see otherwise, but as an adult, I'm like, oh, this is my eating vegetables thing. If I don't do this, I'm going to be unhealthy. And also, again, I like seeing my friends. Which I recommend you do with the grapevine. Plant it in a little mug with some dirt and decorate it. Now it's a tree. It's a grape tree. That's cool. That is a cool thing, like when you can reevaluate a character based on new perspectives from other fans. It's a cool thing. Oh, yeah, that's not good. You shouldn't be in a room alone for days. There's a reason why, like, doing that to prisoners is considered cruel. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. It's not healthy. It's brain bad. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and also another muffin. Alrighty, coming back. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. We have finished all the line work and now we are doing fills on this part with Rouse and Chris. Also, man, I want to swim in a pool. There's like a public pool that's in the park, but I've never gone to it because it's always busy. It's like, you know, a bunch of swimming classes and stuff like that. And of course now it's closed because it's winter. And it's too cold to swim. Well, there's probably a lot of leaves in there too or something like that. They're all just like, ah! The humans scream. The humans scream at me. No. Do not yell at me, human. I just want your shiny little soul, please. Yeah, cupcakes are good. Do you like me some cupcakes? Also been fun just like doing funky stuff with again, doing that weird thing. Try that again. Just a friendly old goat demon. Just wants your soul. What are you gonna do with it? So I reminded of that Worthy Kids animation. If I was a child and an old crone came up to me and said, "Can I have some of your blood?" I'd give her the blood. She needs it. I'm just borrowing it. Yeah, that's a good one. It's Miriam. It's a bit problematic. Problematic. What's the primary ingredient is the blood of children. Oh yeah, Worthy Kids makes really good stuff. Excellent animations. Envious work. Enviable work. And like they also made like the Big Top Burger series and all that stuff. Jason and Friends, which is very funny. So, very good stuff. It's so nice being like there's a lot of like really good indie animation out now because you got like, you know, Worthy Kids stuff. You got, you know, Hell of a Boss, which I haven't really seen much of, but I'm glad it exists anyway. You know, Digital Circus, Mystery Skulls, Lackadaisy. All kinds of good stuff out there. I don't think I've ever seen Unico. And who knows what other independent animation stuff will come up. The only issue with it is just like animation is so time consuming to do, so it's hard to get a lot out. You have to be very patient and wait for more stuff. And unfortunately, audiences are kind of primed to not wait that long, even though it's worth the wait. Vampire, my blood needs the blood, Miriam. Where was Rousey during the Acid Rain comic? He actually was in the back. He was sleeping, but his sleeping pose looks like a big pile of cloths and a little flame hovering over it. Like, basically, he gets reduced down to just like a little flame that's going. But he was there. He was just sleeping. Doesn't need to do it, but, you know, sometimes you just want to. I'm not sure what to do once I finish this one. I'm not sure which one to do next. There was, like, this was definitely far and away the most popular one on the poll. But I think the next one might be one with Sean afterwards. And people were also asking about the Parasite one, which might end up being a two-parter, pretty long. But I don't know what kind of backup I need for that to explain. Oh, by the way, there's also this Eldritch Parasite there. Okay. Yeah, I have not seen Unico, so I don't have any information on that. Yeah, this was kind of discussed a little bit in Asks a while back. But basically there was stuff like, oh, Susie at one point swallowed a eldritch parasite and it's still down there. And it's kind of a pain that she's just kind of been dealing with. And there was a situation of, oh, what if Chris went in to kill it, basically. And I'm like, well, what would get Chris to do that? Because they really wouldn't want to do that otherwise. And I'm like, okay, I actually worked out a scenario where they would be willing to do that. But I'm not sure how much backstory that would need. Yeah, it did finally work out. Okay, this is what would get them to do that, because otherwise they'd be like, no thanks. That would probably be a later one, chronologically, so we also have, like, you know, Birdley and Caddy in the party, because we haven't seen much with them yet. Yeah, that one's have to be a while. I think instead of doing that one next, I'd probably do one with Sham next, because that would probably be a little shorter and easier to do. And also less gruesome, because the Parasite one is probably going to have, you know, content warnings on it. Chris having the worst time ever. Got sacrificed and now it's bad. Open up that. Yeah, Sham 1 probably doesn't need content warnings. I don't think this one will. Parasite 1 would probably need quite a few content warnings. I don't think, like, I'm also trying to second guess myself, like, now, like, what if this need a content warning? What would it be? I don't know, kind of thing. Yeah, I don't think this one needs any, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, there's the cult's kind of mentioned, but you don't really see it in this one. This is, unless basically, like, selling your soul is a trigger, content warning for people. Otherwise, they're mostly just talking here. You've said so many poor Chris's. But cult stuff is kind of brought up a little bit, so could warn for that. But otherwise, this is mostly just them talking. He's just a poor little meow meow. Wait, poor little meow meow probably applies to different things. Probably another word for that. There used to be like cinnamon roll, too good for this world, too pure. What happened to that? Did that just fall out of fashion? Oh, Chris is not a cinnamon roll, though. There are many things, but cinnamon roll is not one of them. A scrumblow. Okay, they're a scrumblow. Not a poor little meow meow. They're a poor little scrumblow. No, that's more like people will use poor little meow meow for like a character that's like an obvious villain. Sora is a cinnamon roll. Yes, Sora counts as a cinnamon roll. Chris does not. Well, like poor little meow meow is the kind of thing you would use for like Hannibal Lecter. It's like a character that is obviously not, you know, it's the opposite of the poor little meow meow, but you would use that for that character anyway. It's morally dubious, yeah. I can see Chris being a comfort character for a lot of people, honestly. I feel like a lot of people can relate to Chris. Even with just the little we know about them. You know, that feeling of, you know, life is tough when you're a teenager, you're outcast, your interests are weird. You kind of think about, you know, dark and scary stuff. Family doesn't quite get you. Maybe on the neurodivergent side. Like, all of that stuff I think I'm sure a lot of kids find very relatable. I have studied the text, the flavor text. I really wish, like, for, like, a canon review purposes, you could get, like, you know, somebody could upload a video that's, like, you know, a playthrough, but also all of the other side and flavor text things, too, you can see, so you get the full picture of it. Because I've seen, like, playthroughs, and they're useful, but sometimes stuff just gets skipped. I'm like, please don't skip anything. I want Chris's flavor text for every little thing. Yep. So yeah, I'm not surprised that so many people like Chris, not surprised so many people like Susie. And Noelle, I think, too, but I feel like there are a group of people that are just, like, really mean to Noelle and, like, don't like her for... I feel like Noelle might hit too close to home for some people, and that translates into disliking her. I don't know. That's my own theory. Yeah, this feeling of being out of control of your life. Which I'm sure is super relevant, you know, for a lot of kids nowadays. Although what I think makes Chris interesting, or at least, you know, how I theorize it now, is I do think that, like, Chris deliberately chose to give up that control of himself and maybe regretted it, but still chose it. And I think that makes it interesting, because now they're like, crap, you know, they made this impulsive decision, which, you know, teenagers are wont to do, and are stuck with the consequences of it. Yeah, like, hello. Yeah, some people, seen people like, you know, well, Chris wouldn't do that. That would be stupid to do. I'm like, yeah, they're a teenager. Teenagers do stupid things. When you're a teenager, you're more liable to do just, like, make dumb, impulsive decisions. Especially about something as big as, like, you know, your own autonomy. I'm sure there's plenty of teenagers that have been like, you know, I wish somebody else would, you know, run my life for a while. I don't like doing it myself. It's hard. It's stressful. It's scary. Because Chris actually got what they wanted. Yeah, exactly. Like you're like, oh, she's more than just, you know, cute and shy. She's got these interests that you wouldn't think she would have, and it's like, oh, this rounds out her character more and explains some of how she acts around people. And also, stuttering should be something that a lot of kids can relate to, too. It's the difficulty of being able to speak for yourself. So I want to see her succeed. I want to see her be able to speak up for herself. I mean, heck, like, I really didn't care much for Birdley in Chapter 1. And then in Chapter 2, it's like, okay, I still think he's annoying, but he's also very funny and, you know, interesting. And now I have this extra, you know, backstory as to why he behaves that way. It doesn't make him less annoying, but it makes him a more fun character that I do not mind seeing more of. Yeah, you always gotta watch out for woobyification of a character. I feel like sometimes people really, really, really play up as like, oh, she just wants, you know, the sadism thing. I'm like, that's a part. That's not the whole of her at all. Yeah, Toby made Birdley enjoyable. Birdley, yeah, he kind of does. He kind of does. So I'm waiting for the same thing to happen with other classmates. Like, please give us the depth on Caddy and Jockington. I know it's coming. Give it to us. More full character stuff. I don't know about that with Hordak. And She-Ra. I did like the new She-Ra, though. It was very good. Ugh, backgrounds. Waiting on the deep, dark Timmy lore. We're probably not going to get the deep, dark Timmy lore just because Timmy isn't, you know, both a character and an actual person. So I feel like Timmy would have to sign off on that, and you gotta be careful about crossing those lines. I wouldn't mind it though, but I doubt we're gonna get that much with Timmy. Also, I don't know about Monster Kid or Snowy. We're gonna get more with them. Again, wouldn't mind it, but I don't know if we will get time for it. And Hordak, like, actually, he got clone angst. Clone angst. I should rewatch She-Ra. That was good. I did enjoy it. Also, it always kind of like, I find it kind of weird and annoying when people like do not like the fact that Susie, you know, was actually really mean and threatened people's lives prior to her development in Chapter 1. Like, some people are like, Susie is acting out of character in the, you know, the blog post from Noelle. I don't like her being that mean. It's like, yeah, that's the whole point, is that she was mean and scary and threatened people. That's the whole point of character growth. You gotta grow from somewhere. It is important that, yeah, she has done and is in some ways still doing some things that are just really bullying and not okay. I still love her. She's still like probably my favorite character. But you gotta accept the fact that she was being really mean to people. And probably would still do that if she thought it was appropriate. I don't ship Chris and Berdley, but I support you in your efforts. I do understand the feeling of like, haha, joke ship, and then you're like, wait a minute, no, real ship. Oh no, the joke has become reality. What you say with irony today, you do with sincerity tomorrow. It's important. Yeah, it'd be boring if the characters never changed. It's fun to watch them be like, okay, how will they develop further? Please develop in good ways. Yeah. And it makes it more interesting because I'm like, okay, why was, when Susie was being clearly very scary and threatening to Chris, why was Chris brushing that off? Like, I want to find out the reasons for that. That's interesting. Yeah, I like getting to the pointy teeths in the profile. Because, like, as Noelle points out, everybody seems to notice that Susie is being incredibly mean to Chris, but Chris is like, doesn't care, doesn't bring it up to, you know, Toriel at all. So, I'd just be curious how it works. What did they say? What did they whisper? I think the answer that I actually kind of like the most for what Chris said at that point in the thing was, Chris said Noelle's watching. And that is what got Susie to back off. Because I feel like if they had said something to, like, taunt her or be like, I know, or do it, or something like that, then that kind of would have just made Susie angrier. But telling Susie, hey, you're being watched by somebody you don't want to see this, would be the thing that gets her to run off. And again, plays into Chris being more observant than they seem. So, in terms of the possibilities for that scene, that's the one that my headcanon's probably it right now. But who knows what it was? I don't know if we'll ever get to know. It'd be cool if we did, but I'm not sure how we would be told. Yeah. There are a couple things that Chris does on their own that we, the player, do not do. And that's very interesting. It's also kind of funny how, like, Chris, clearly does, like, goofy stuff. Like, again, they're in their cell and they, like, sorry. And they stick their whole head in the tube and honk. Like, stuff like that. Just very funny. Oh. Oh no. I'm sorry about that. That's not good. Again, be careful about what you joke about. I really do need to make the piece of art sometime that, with some of the phrase, again, what you say in irony today, you do with sincerity tomorrow. Basically is like, hey, this is a bit of a warning. Because I have found it true in my life and in many others. Yeah, you don't want to do self-depreciation jokes. It's the kind of thing of like, when I was very little, I think I said something sarcastically once when I was over at my grandmother's place, and she very sincerely was like, "You shouldn't use sarcasm. Don't use sarcasm," you know, kind of thing. And I was like, "Why? Sarcasm's fine." And as I've gotten older, I've been like, "Okay, I think I get what she was talking about." It's not like, "Oh, you should never use sarcasm." It's kind of thing of like, be careful of what you say, you know, in a joking sense. Sarcasm is a useful tool, but you gotta be careful with it. I finally understand what grandmother meant. Sorry about the cough. Oh, it was about gone. Ugh. Alrighty, let's do that. Yeah, exactly. Like, if somebody else said something self-depreciating, especially in a very major way, and it's like your friend or something, it's like, oh, crap. How do I respond to this kind of thing? Because you as your friend is like, no, you shouldn't depreciate yourself because, you know, you're my friend and I like you. I mean, yeah, like, sometimes, you know, that kind of thing happens with that. Just, you know, it's the kind of thing you have to be careful about and not say too much. Honestly, sometimes it's even funnier to go the opposite direction. Like, you know, if you lose a game of Kahoot, you're like, oh man, I'm so smart, this game can't even figure out how smart I am. You know, like, push it in the opposite direction. Which is still funny, but it's a little less, you know, mean to yourself. Alright, let's do the next page. This kind of thing of like the true Birdly route. Yeah, exactly. Where like we all screw up and stuff like that. But if you screw up something and you're like, oh, good job, me, I'm so cool at this, it's still a joke, but it's a joke that's a little less harmful to you, I think. Now Chris has to start running through for the exit stuff. Where's the exit? Where is it? Oh, this is from Amazing Digital Circus. Okay, was anybody else, like, when they're watching that part of Digital Circus, like, this is very Stanley Parable vibes. Why is she running through the Stanley Parable office? Where's the adventure line? And my... Alright, have a nice shower. Showers are comfy. Yeah, it's good. As we were talking about like independent animation, it's pretty good. It's by Gooseworks, who I mostly know from Undertale and Deltarune remixes, and I was like, wait a minute, apparently they do all this other cool animation. I should check it out. Let's check out the original stuff, and not just the fan stuff. People have been making a lot... Yes, it is on YouTube. People have been making a lot of comparisons because one of the main characters is voiced by... I'm pretty sure a guy who's done a lot of fan dubbings of Spamton, and he kind of sounds and acts like Spamton. So people have been drawing many comparisons between that character and Spamton. Character designs are all very fun. I like Zoodle, I like Jax. Yeah, it's like half an hour. Easy to watch. Supposedly we'll get more episodes in the future. Also, that team did another series. What was it called? Glitch something? I haven't seen that. Or something bots? Oh, I can't remember. And also, I think that person also did a pretty good analog horror short. It's like, a 3-minute short, not a long series, but it's some good analog horror stuff. Can't watch Aspen Hotel anymore? Should be on YouTube. I'm pretty sure Aspen Hotel is still on YouTube, as far as I know. Kind of the point. Oh, the series that came out, yeah. I guess I should watch Hell of a Boss myself. I'll admit, I watched, Has Been Hotel. It wasn't really for me. I didn't much like it. Now, I'm glad it exists, because I'm glad any independent animation exists. I'm glad that that's taking off more. I think that's cool. But just in terms of me personally, not for me. I didn't really enjoy it. That's alright, though. Not everything has to be for me. And it clearly has an audience, so what do I know? I'm just happy that animation is breaking out of the studio mold in the places it can. Very difficultly, because animation is so time-consuming to produce that you kind of need, that kind of money and backing and time for it. But people are managing somehow, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, you never know. Again, not everything has to be to your taste, but it's nice to have that variety. I like most of the stuff that's out there. I like Mystery Skulls. Lackadaisy was great. I like Digital Circus. Really liked Starlight Brigade. Blew my mind. I love Starlight Brigade. Yeah, Queer Riff's nice. That's always good. Yeah, if you like dark humor, then probably Has-Beens for you. Yeah, give Digital Circus a watch. It's pretty fun. It's got kind of a little bit of digital horror aspect to it, but it's also pretty funny. And yeah, Lackadaisy is just great. I think I have the first book in print. I'm kind of glad that they're focusing on animation now instead of the comic, because the comic is so intricately, detailedly drawn that long periods of time would go between updates, so I would just kind of forget what happens. So an animation is kind of ideal for that. So it's okay, you can do an episode or two and focus on that, and I can watch it all and get a good idea of the story. Yeah, we definitely need it. The main problem with it is again, animation is just very time consuming to produce. And anything time-consuming takes either a lot of money or a lot of manpower or both. And that's hard to do independently. So people are finding ways to do it, and that's great. I'd like to see more of it. But that's really, like, I can't really compete with Disney as much unless you really super stand out. Yeah, exactly. I didn't have any, much set ideas going into Digital Circus. I'm just like, okay, let's check this out. This looks fun. And I enjoyed it, and I am curious to see where they'll go with it. It's got, a little bit of mystery built in. You automatically have these fun characters. It's appropriate, like, it's very medium appropriate. Like, the animation is not super polished, and that's part of what makes it work so well. Well, not like super polished, but, like, it's not, how a lot of animation is expected to look, like, design-wise. Like, it's kind of an older design for the animation, but for that, it works very well. So, I hope all these projects succeed. I want to see more of that. I want to see more Mystery Skulls, which I love. I want to see more Lackadaisy, which they're working on. And, yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying Eldritchrune. It is fun to draw. Yeah, indie animation is doing well. I hope it continues to do well. It's nice that we have these platforms where they can be released to a wide audience, even if you don't have, like, a distributor. That's probably the main thing that's allowing a lot of independent animation to thrive right now, is that you can post anything you want to YouTube, so you can worry about the production costs, but not the distributor costs, which is usually a whole nother problem to deal with. And most people, like, can't, before, the internet, you really couldn't get past that barrier very easily. You'd have to go through a lot of channels to get anything distributed. So, having that option to just put it on YouTube now is a boon. I think one of the few good things YouTube's done. Yep, I have read some Clamp. And it's nice to have, again, the internet as an option, because good grief, streaming right now is not being kind to animation either. And I'm dealing with that in my work, which has been very frustrating. We'll see how things go with, animation union contracts being up next year, although that's mostly for the U.S. Not as much here. Meanwhile, Chris is kind of having a breakdown. We're like, holy crap, I got sacrificed to a demon. What the hell? Literally. Yeah, you should check out the new Sonic series on Netflix. I applied to be on that, and I did not get it. I was sad. But maybe I dodged a bullet. It sounds like it's been through a bit of production hell. Quick cancellations, not promoting it very well. One thing that streaming tends to do is basically they will order a full season, like 26 episodes, and then they will not present it as a full season. They will kind of stretch this out into like 3 or 4 seasons that are like 8 episodes each, and then call those separate seasons, even though technically that's not how they were produced. They were all produced as one season. Cough, new MLP cough. So what that means is that they are less likely to pick up a second season, and because basically if you do another season, you are expected to pay the artist more, because you're coming back, like, they've earned this now, they're coming back for more stuff, and they don't really want to do that. So, yeah, they'll basically ask you to produce, a season of a show, and then they don't distribute it like it's a season. They distribute it like it's multiple seasons, and act like it's multiple seasons. It's not, it's just one season. Which means, as the artists, don't get as much work, and they're not paid as well as if you were doing like an actual multiple season show. Yeah, any kind of candy would probably be good for Chris right now, although also probably the, you know, I don't know how to deal with existential horror of your parents just sacrificed you. I don't know, I've never experienced that. Thankfully. Yet. Yeah, probably dark candy exists, I don't know what it would be exactly. Probably different from dark candy. Yeah, basically, companies will go through lots and lots of tricks to not pay people. That is one thing they do not like doing. They really like the stuff you make. They really don't like having to pay you to do it. They would rather it just exist and you, the artist, not get in their way with stuff like, hey, I put my hard work into this. Can I, like, have money to pay my rent and food? And they're like, well, that's asking a lot. They don't want to do that. Ooh, cherry cordials. That's good. Also, I just realized I probably skipped my my stretch break. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one more stretch break. And then, after that, we'll do one more session where we're working on this. So this is my last stretch break. Yeah, it's not surprising, but it is disappointing. And it's just frustrating because it's like, because streaming kind of like hides that model. Like, it's easy to tell, you know, if you're distributing stuff through regular TV, like how the seasons are set up and all that. The streaming, it's a lot more like, no, we're gonna have this be a season, maybe that's a season, and something like that. Yeah, I'm hoping to release this comic soon. I'm probably gonna work on it tomorrow during the holiday, but it is a very long one. It's like 17 pages long, so it's probably gonna take a while. I hope I can finish it this week, and then release it over next weekend. But I also need to finish Anthrofractal today, so I gotta work on that later tonight. I gotta finish coloring it. Yeah, I'm gonna try and finish this in time. Hopefully I'll be able to, because it's, once I, you know, get this down, the coloring, actually, I don't know. It might not be done by this next weekend. I hope it will, but I don't know. It depends on how far I get tomorrow, honestly. Yeah. If I don't get it by this weekend, I should by next weekend at least. Well, not this weekend, but okay. If I don't get it done by next Saturday, by this coming Saturday, I'll probably get it done by the Saturday following. It's gonna be worth the wait. I'm just slowly but surely making my way through it, and be right back for one more stretch. Terra cordials. Okay, now I'm returning. And let's carry on with Chris's breakdown. Alright, this will be our last session. How far we get with this is how far we get. At least the backgrounds for this are all done. It's always good. Except for some certain parts. Ooh. Yeah, I bought myself some mint Oreos recently. I do like those. I'm glad we at least got to the line art. Today, that's what I wanted to do. I want to try red velvet Oreos. You know what I want to try that everybody else says sounds really gross is Swedish fish Oreos. I like Oreos and I like Swedish fish, so I kind of want to try them together. Even though everybody I know is like, that sounds so gross! And I'm like, I know, but I want to try it anyway because I like Swedish fish. It might be good. I don't know, I've never seen them around, so I'd have to track them down somewhere if they even exist anymore. Yeah, it's one of those like weird flavors that's like exists in your own imagination or something. Exists on the astral plane. Whatever. I'm trying to think this is a flavor of Oreo where I'm like, oh, I do not want that Oreo. That sounds so gross, Oreo. But I'm not sure. Oh yeah, we have matcha Kit Kats here. I've seen the matcha Kit Kats around here. There's a lot more Kit Kats around here than usual. Yeah, it's because there's a big Asian population here, so there's a lot of both Asian foods and related snacks and stuff like that. So that includes Kit Kats. So there are matcha Kit Kats. You would feel like a peanut butter Oreo would make sense because generally peanut butter and chocolate are good together, but at the same time, like, the chocolate of an Oreo is not the same kind of chocolate you get from, you know, peanut butter usually. Okay, you know what came out recently? There was this churro flavored ice cream from Ben & Jerry's. It's so good! I've had to get it multiple times because I'm like, oh, the churro ice cream. Nom, nom, nom. I want some now. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, okay, like, Oreo flavors, like, they're not chocolate necessary, but it's like chocolate cousin? Chocolate related? What is an Oreo? Like, I know what an Oreo flavor is, but I'm trying to think of, like, what is the Oreo flavor in relation to chocolate? Ice cream's good for any weather. All ice cream, all the time. Yeah, it's like, I noticed it at the grocery store. There's Ben & Jerry's churro ice cream. And I really liked it. Well, that's the thing, is that the Oreos, instead of the cream center, it would be the peanut butter center. Like the Swedish fish Oreos are the cookie, and then the cream is instead like Swedish fish cream. Like, basically, I think these different flavor Oreos are, for the most part, like the cookie's the same, but the filling is different, with some exceptions, like the cinnamon bun Oreos have different cookies. So some other ones. I also like the birthday cake Oreos. Those are good. Whew. That's cold ice water. And Chris having their breakdown. All done. Now on to the next one. Yeah, birthday cake Oreos are very good. I would recommend them. Give some of these to Chris. Chris, have some birthday cake Oreos. This will solve your massive crises. Total breakdown of everything you knew. Let's have some birthday Oreos. Oh, do they have peppermint Oreos for like Christmas? I hope they do. Yeah, I feel like right now there'd be like no hugs. No hugs. But Oreos are delicious. Oreos are the nicest. It's like my favorite ice cream flavor is cookies and cream, which is basically like vanilla ice cream with cookies in it. Well, I do like Hershey's Hugs too, mostly because I do like white chocolate. I know it's not real chocolate, but I like it anyway. Yeah, cookies and cream is really good. That's my favorite ice cream flavor. Yeah, they probably do need Asriel right now. No, you just get Demon Asriel. Wait a minute. Asriel, or Ralsei does try and be like, here, have hot chocolate and tea and cakes and stuff. This will help. Savory food's also good. Yeah, I don't really like dark chocolate though. Like sometimes it's okay, like if it's something like with like fruit in it, like if it's a mint dark chocolate or a you know, raspberry dark chocolate, that's good. But just like dark chocolate by itself, I'm like, oof, I cannot do it. Sorry, Kara, do not work. Yeah, mint dark chocolate's good. Also, mint chocolate chip ice cream, also very good. Real lava, like, I don't know, I'll try Demon's hot chocolate. That sounds like it'd be pretty good. Pretty spicy, though. It's spicy. I go with chai or something, which is basically like spiced tea. Like, I feel like I had a hot chocolate at one point that was supposed to be like, oh, here's, you know, this South American hot chocolate and it's spicy and stuff. And I was like, one, it's not that spicy, but two, okay. There was the coffee place close to me is selling a s'mores hot chocolate, which was really good, but I am a little worried that it might have messed up my tummy a bit. I'm like, no, I want to be able to drink the yummy s'mores hot chocolate. Please don't mess up my tummy. Yeah, chai chocolate. Chris continues to have their breakdown. I do like me marshmallows and chocolate. I like s'mores flavored stuff in general because s'mores are good. Well, they really are best when you're like out camping and, you know, roast them over the fire like they were meant to be. I want to do that. I want to do that. Why can't I roast marshmallows over a hot fire now? Get them all nice and toasty. Yes, I think we'll get through the basis for part 1 at least. Marshmallow fruit snacks? Isn't that basically like, I don't know, Lucky Charms? I feel like fruit snacks should taste like fruit. Yeah, no, I saw that and I'm like, those are not s'mores. Great British Baking Show, what are you doing? Those are not s'mores. I don't know what they are, but they're not s'mores. They're like, we don't want this to be a gooey mess. I'm like, yes, you do. The whole point of a s'more is that it's a gooey mess. It gets all over your fingers. That's the point. American pie, isn't that just apple pie? That's usually what people associate with, specifically an American pie, is just, you know, apple pie. Which I had recently because I love me some apple pie. But I'm pretty sure, I hope the British know how to make an apple pie. I hope they do. Wait, what? What do they make them with if they weren't marshmallows? You're supposed to, it's not, how do you screw this up? It is literally 3 ingredients. Graham cracker, Hershey's chocolate, marshmallow. Roast marshmallow over fire, squish between graham cracker and chocolate, you have a s'more. The whole point is that they're supposed to be like roasted. Like the best way to do it is over an open flame, so you get kind of this weird, gooey mess of a toasted marshmallow. Like if you're not using marshmallow, what are you using? Again, 3 ingredients. Very cheap. Britain, what are you doing? Now you gotta wonder about, like, okay, if they're screwing up in a basic American dessert, man, what if they tried other countries? Like, oh boy, what do they do with, like, a Mexican dessert or something like that? I can only imagine. Wait, what? They didn't know what pumpkin spice was? Like, pumpkin spice is super easy. It's basically like, what? Nutmeg and cloves and stuff like that? Churros with no cinnamon! Ah! Dying! I'm gonna throw all your stuff in the harbor, Britain. American pies aren't that hard either. You got your fruit filling. You got your crust, which is all like, you know, butter and shortening and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Well, margarita can be like a margarita pizza. That's like the cheese. But a margarita is also a kind of alcoholic drink. With, I think, using tequila. Welcome back from the shower. Chris is having a breakdown. A margarita pizza is basically like, it's basically a cheese pizza, but you use kind of different cheeses. You might add some basil to it, but it's basically a cheese pizza. Yeah, I think they're spelled differently. But a margarita pizza is not the same thing as a margarita drink. They're probably just kind of pronounced similarly because of American stuff. But I've definitely seen things listed as margarita pizzas here, so it's not like it's unheard of in America. Like, it might just be called cheese, but sometimes they call it margarita to sound fancier. That's what I have. I have cheese pizzas. I don't like toppings on my pizza. I'm like, just cheese, please. Thank you. Cheese only. Although I wouldn't mind some basil on it, too. Yep, Chris having a breakdown. We are back to, doing the base colors, so I can color the stuff in. Banana peppers. I am weirdly picky about certain things. Like, I only want cheese pizza. Just cheese pizza. And I don't want anything on my hamburgers. I only want plain hamburgers. And it feels kind of awkward because I'm like, I'm a grown-ass adult. It's like, what do you want in your burger? I'm like, nothing. I want it plain. Like a 10-year-old. But I'll eat what I want. I should be allowed to. I don't know why I have to feel so cringe about it. I do feel cringe. Yeah, I can't do that with... It's still with burgers to this day. I just want a plain burger. I really don't like mustard. I will have mustard if I'm in it for like a cooking thing, like if I'm making a mustard sauce, that's okay. But just like mustard on its own, bleh. I don't like mayo at all. The whole texture of mayo just puts me right off. Can't stand mayo. Mayo is nope. Same with sour cream. I can't do sour cream. Something about like mayo and sour cream, I'm like, ugh. But apple pies have a top. And there are savory American pies. What are they talking about? That's just incorrect. Like, yeah, there's a lot of sweet pies, but there's savory pies too. Yeah, I'm the same way. Don't like mayo, don't like sour cream, don't like ranch dressing. White sauce. I like Alfredo sauce though. As nice as that, but white condiments, meh, meh, meh. Not like that. I don't know what it is. Just don't like it. Like I'll be having a dinner stuff with my parents, and we'll be having something where like they have sour cream, but I won't have sour cream with it. And that's fine for me, but then I have to like, pick up, help clean up the dishes and stuff like that. So I have to like put the sour cream away, and I'm always like, ew. Ranch on ice cream. That's a choice. A fascinating choice. Not a choice I would make, but it's a choice. I'd probably just put something like caramel sauce. Chris is like, I don't want ranch on my ice cream! Ah! Trying to give Chris a corn muffin, there's a lump on it and I can't stand it. Me when I'm 5 years old and there's a lump on my corn muffin. And I'm not kidding, I was that weird as a child. Oh, thank you. Yeah, hot fudge and ice cream is good. I like going to like those frozen yogurt places and it's like, here, put, gummy worms and, weird stuff on your frozen yogurt. And I'm like, oh, don't mind if I do. I'm going to put a bunch of gummy worms on my frozen yogurt. And get this big, horrible rainbow concoction. And I'm like, yes! Here's the horrible rainbow frozen yogurt concoction. Kind of ice cream. Dirt Sundae, yeah. This one too. Earl says, like, I don't know what to do with crying child. Ah. Yeah, crumbled Oreos and ice cream are always good. Sign of autism. Honestly, I've kind of wondered if I'm on the spectrum in some ways. I have not gotten formally diagnosed or anything, but just like when I was really little, like little toddler, my mom would be able to just like leave me with a Mr. Potato Head or a puzzle, and I would just do that over and over and over again for like 5 hours straight. Like, that would keep me entertained for a super long time. Like, I would just do that over and over. Just put the puzzle pieces together, and then I'd dump them back out and do it again. So, like, my parents could just, like, leave me to my devices for a very long period of time. And I wouldn't, like, apparently, like, most kids don't do that. They'll get bored. They'll throw a fit. I did not. I was entertained by just leave me alone to do my little project, even from a young age. And my mom said, you know, I always kind of suspected that maybe you were on the spectrum because of that, but like, you know, my parents were poor when I was born. They didn't really have the resources to look into that or anything like that. And I'm definitely weird about like foods I eat, my routine, stuff like that. I'm very much a stickler for routine. I hate going off routine. It makes me so anxious. It's entirely possible, but that's just speculation at this point. Basically, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Yeah, I feel like there's also this thing, I'm like, oh, it's overdiagnosed, and it's like, well, maybe not. Maybe it's just like, you didn't notice it was there because you thought, oh, that kid's just weird. Especially if, you know, it's a spectrum thing, so if it's not super obvious that, you know, that's going on, then people aren't going to pay as much attention to it. Yeah, like, I don't want to go and get a bunch of tests. Like, at this point, it's like, how would that benefit me? Except for just to know officially, I guess. But I've worked out systems in my life where I'm like, okay, I know what my, you know, how my work schedule is, how I get myself to work well, how I interact with people, all this kind of stuff, you know, what things bother me, so I can navigate, you know, my life okay. And that seems like the most important part. But yeah, if you need resources, that might be a good thing to know. So I guess it's just different for every person. Yeah, that's entirely possible. I was, like, me and my brother were both very picky as kids. And I'm still pretty picky, like, again, with, like, the pizza and burger stuff. That's, you know, most adults aren't that way. I know that's weird. But, I've gotten a little bit better than when I was a kid. Like, when I was a kid, there were a lot of things I would not eat. And nowadays, I'm like, okay, you know, I'll try something new. I probably won't like it, but I'll give it a shot. You know, I'm at least grown up to do that much. But I really, like, again, I'm such a stickler for routine. I will eat the same thing over and over again and not get bored with it. I'm like, I know I like this. I know how to make it quickly. I'm just going to make this over and over and over again, and I don't care. Like, I'm, again, stickler for food routines. Eat the same thing just over and over and over again. Yeah, I would not have had spinach as a kid. Nowadays, I'm like, okay, there are certain dishes where I'll have some, you know, baby spinach in it, kind of thing. Yeah, I guess that is good to figure out if it's autism or if it's something else. But I'm pretty sure, especially like those food habits are a pretty big sign of it. Like, I was talking to a friend, and we were kind of comparing notes about that kind of thing, because she said, oh, I'd probably have, you know, ADHD because of this, and this, and because of, you know, I have these food habits. And I'm like, oh, that's super different from the food habits I have. These are my food habits. And we were, like, able to kind of figure out, oh, okay, this is probably what we have, just based on how we handle food. Like, she'll do a thing where, like, you know, she'll get really into one food and eat that a ton, and then all of a sudden be like, I can't do this anymore. No more of this food ever again. Whereas I want the same things on routine all the time. So it's entirely possible. Yeah. Yeah, I just like having the same thing regularly. I like having, like, okay, it's Saturday, I'm going to cook this meal today, and I'll have this exact stuff with it. It's just, you know, normal. Actually, yeah, we'll get to that next page. Hold on just a second. We'll get to that soon, because I'm just about done with this one. Yeah. Poor Chris having a breakdown. Which is understandable. Again, me at 5 years old when there's a lump on my corn muffin. Oh, I missed the spot there. Are you prepared for this emotional breakdown? You better be. Well, there was an art piece I was going to do recently. about magazines. Okay, and that one's done. For Chris. Okay. Let's go find numero 2.1. Yeah. Or else it's like, here, take snacks. They definitely don't like hugs right now. Here, well, I'll start on this panel first, just because I'm probably going to stop soon. This is like, what are you doing? It's hard to resist all the snacks. All the snacks that we can have. Have to resist. Again, I'll try and finish this soon, but this is the longest part so far. I'm going to divide this one up into 3 parts and probably post them across 3 days like I have previous. Oh, ads time! Ads time! 9? Are these ads getting longer and longer? I gotta mess with the ad thing and figure out. I think I gotta mess with that and figure out how that's supposed to be going, because I don't think it should be going to like 9. That's a bit long, I think. That's a mini in a row. That's kind of extensive. That is too many. Okay, loophole's fine. I won't tell on you. Yeah, that's understandable. I gotta offer more sub stuff. I'm not at the stage where it's like, no, this is my full-time job or anything. I have another job. Yeah, that's a lot of ads. I gotta mess with those settings or something. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm sub to at least one other person. Yeah, here's where I'll say he's doing his best. Do you want tea? Do you want cake? Do you want hot cocoa? Do you want a croissant? Do you want a corn muffin and I remove the lump from it? He's doing his best. He's trying. Oh, green tea is nice. Yeah, I'm going to try that barbecue sauce today. Because it looks good. All the way to the end. Oh yeah, I really like the Arizona iced tea. I wish they had more flavors here, like they used to have the raspberry iced tea, but now I just see like regular lemon and I think the green tea. I'm like, I want raspberry iced tea. And also that's the most tea you get for the best price. They still only like it's I think it's like $1 in the United States, and here it's like $1.29 because haha Canadian. But it's still better price than a lot of things. I really like raspberry iced tea though. It's very good. Oh, wow, okay. What's going on here? What did I do? What did I do with this? Very smoky. When will this be done? I don't know. I'd really like for it to be done by this coming Saturday, but I don't know if I'll be able to manage that. Depends on how far I get tomorrow, because I also need to finish Anthrofractal here. I'm still working on coloring that. But if I'm lucky, it'll be done by this coming weekend, and if not, it'll be up next weekend, I think. But I'm hoping to have it be soon. This is just a long one because it's probably gonna be 3 parts, and it's just, you know, just them talking mostly. He's trying to just like carefully scoot it in their direction. Yeah, He's like, I made these. Have a delicious food. Stop crying. Okay. But now, after that pie, Chris is suspicious of delicious foods. They had a drugged pie last. The most sus, secretly unfair pie. Aww. Don't cry too much. Oh no. Chris like a cat. I'm like, don't bother me. And one of those times it would be easier to do this over Storyboard Pro than Photoshop, but oh well. Aww. So that's nice when that happens, though. Chris is a bean. They're just going through very hard times now. They had a breakdown. Which, honestly, understandable. After just getting sacrificed by your adoptive parents. They do not. Stop being mean to Chris Challenge 2023 and onward. I fail it. No. It was me. I was the horrible one all along. Yes, I am working on Eldritchrune. This is the next comic for it. Which will be out when I finish it. I'm probably close to stopping soon, so I'll have to stop and feed Alfie's and make dinner for myself. And we've been going for a while, about 3.5 hours, so that's good. Yep. Yeah, they didn't really have much in the way of peer pressure. They were just kind of like, hey, come with us. Aww. Yeah, they've already had a hard time. They were basically on the streets before they got adopted. And got pushed around a lot there, too. So it's been really hard. It's like just when things were going well, got the rug pulled out from under them. At least in canon, the Dreamers are significantly better parents. Even if they are divorced. Oh no. It's fun to do mean things to the characters sometimes. Because then you're like, well then, it'll be all the better when they get cool stuff to happen to them. They went through the hard stuff. And we like that catharsis. Come on. Gimme. And then they can have a little revenge and villainy as a treat. Aww. Oh, cuteness. I know, it's rough. protagonist syndrome. It's like, oh no, you're the person that all this stuff is happening to. Watch out. You can be the hero of a video game story, but watch out. Stuff's gonna happen to you on the mountain. Wonder how far we can get this before I gotta stop and do my stuff. Yeah. Wonder how often Asgore gave them big goat dad hugs. Don't forget about me, your ex-husband. Wah. Like, Asgore, no, it's so awkward. Almost done. At least we got through the rest of the lines and a fairly good chunk of doing the base stuff. I have no clue what kind of snacks Rouse is actually giving here, but they're supposed to be good snacks. Tasty sweet things. All that goodness. Yeah, I'm not sure why they got divorced in this universe, but I'm betting it has something to do with also why Asgore was fired from the police force. And all that. Okay, can we get through this? There's no characters on this one, so let's try and get through this, and then we'll get through this page, and then I will call it a day. Yay, progress! And if I don't finish this by this Saturday, there'll probably be more of this next week as well. Unless it's like dialogue, which I cannot do on stream. Oh no, Asgore. I feel bad for Asgore. I hope we're gonna get some more stuff going on with him to figure out what his deal is, because he just feels like he's gotten the raw end of the deal. Stuff has not gone well for the poor guy. He's doing his best. They didn't even kill any kids this time. Let Asgore be happy. And be able to give out hugs. Most divorced man ever. Okay. One more panel. Then we will be done with this page and this stream. Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to remember how many pages was it to line and how many pages to do this. Yep. This family does seem to have its troubles in every universe. They're slightly less severe than they are in the Undertale one, but still there. Yeah, I think also Asgore was kind of more stuck in the past, honestly, than Toriel was. And she could have helped him out with that, but did not. I mean, it's understandable. Basically, it's understandable why they all reacted the way they did. Asgore felt like he had this obligation of people that are like, okay, you're gonna bring us hope now, and actually kill these humans so we can get out. So, just a terrible, terrible, terrible position to be in. Okay, let's grab everything. Boop, boop. All our little selectathons. Select, select, select. Oh no! Did all that selecting! I forgot the bottom thing right here. Ah. There we go. And she at least definitely thought enough to actually go and follow Frisk out when Frisk was like, I'm gonna leave the ruins anyway, goodbye. Like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't force the child to have to either die or kill Asgore. That's not very good. I should get active in that. Okay. Last one. And then we'll call it a day. Everybody deserves mercy. Well, they should get mercy, whether or not they deserve it. Okie dokie. Here's Ralsei trying his best to give a distraught Chris some sweets. Whew! Alrighty. Got through quite a bit today. No, I don't know. I think Undertale Toriel is still got some stuff going on with that. But, yeah. So we made some pretty good progress. Again, I'm not sure when this comic will be done. I'd like it done by Saturday, but it's quite possible that it won't happen. Especially because I still gotta, again, finish Anthrofractal and stuff like that. But I will do my best to make progress on it. And all that stuff. And I would like it done. I would like it all done. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. I'm glad we were able to make a lot of progress today, and it was fun just chatting. All that goodness. Yeah, thanks a bunch for hanging out with me. And I should be doing more Spiritfarer on Friday, and then probably another stream on next week as well for art, if all goes well. But yeah, thanks for coming, thanks for watching and chatting. Hope you all have a good rest of your evening, or whatever time it is there. Yeah, get back to your projects. Thanks a bunch for being here. And I will see you all later. Alright, take care, and bye-bye.